going to be exciting. And guess what? The have another update. DeMonte is up 7-0 on Galena. A lineman's dream. First play from scrimmage, intercepted by a DeMonte lineman.
As Bishop Manogue takes the opening kickoff and will get all the way across midfield into Reed territory as you were giving that update.
And there's a flag at the 35.
So that one's probably coming back. That was Nate Simmons on that return. Very exciting, but unfortunately will probably come back with a hold.
Boy, is it bad luck when you have a penalty in the first play of the game.
Not good at all. Let's take a look at your officiating crew tonight, which has changed a little bit for us, Chris. We thought that we were going to have Troy Morris as our referee tonight, but apparently he was talking to you before the game and said that they had to move some people around, so Morris goes to the back judge position. There you see the referee, Alan Brown, signals the hold against Bishop Manogue. Your umpire is Rodney Thompson. Your linesman, Jay Lysing. Your line judge is Mike Shevelson. And, of course, our favorite red hat of all time, Susan Wyand on the sideline, who – I'm not sure. Were you down there when she brought the cookies tonight?
Oh, I didn't get any.
Oh.
That's what I heard. They were good.
And last week, you remember, the Ted Lasso treats didn't last long in the truck, so you may not get one of those delicious cookies that Susan bought tonight.
Well, and judging by our guys in the truck, I don't think there's a chance a cookie survives.
After this play, we'll take a look at Bishop Manogue's offense on screen. We'll get to this play first, led by Brandon Mann, is thrown for over 1,400 yards this year, 18 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. We'll give you the rest of the offense after this snap. There's the snap, the handoff to Amir Magruder over the left side. He will get a few and go down. That will give us a chance to take a look at the rest of the Bishop Manogue offense. You met Magruder, the running back. Up front, it's Cole Cronin, Max Zuro, Mason Eck. Trey McKinney is getting the start at right guard tonight. Marcus Carey is your right tackle. Eli Peterson is the tight end. Your wide receiver, Simmons, Damari Stacker, and J.T. Thomas.
2nd and 6. Let's see what the Miners come up with.
Here's a throw over the middle. Going to be a little bit too tall. Incomplete. That pass intended for Nate Simmons. With that, we can take a look at Reed's defense. This is how they will line up tonight. Marcus Cinceneros is your right tackle. Oswaldo Pinedo, Raymond Mavini, Adrian Herrera up front for the Reed Raiders. Oscar Cesaris and Shayshawn Rivero, your linebackers. They play 5 DBs with Purdom, Rios, Guerrero, Cordova, and Tamboa Kao scheduled to start for the Reed Raiders tonight defensively. Heavy pressure. Mann gets out of one tackle but won't elude a second. He's sacked way back about the 10-yard line.
Real big-time blitz right there from our guy. That's jersey number 8, Oscar Cesaris. And you can see Miners got beat by that blitz. Good speed by Reed. There was nothing Manogue could do. Huge loss. Punt, 3 and out.
For Cesaris, that's going to be his 3rd sack of the year, Chris. Remember when we were here a couple of weeks ago, they put Cesaris in late in that big blowout over Galena to run the football, and he twisted his ankle. I'm glad that he's back. I wasn't sure he was coming back from that. Rios is your scheduled kick returner or punt returner. That might be Jesse Douglas, though, actually. It was Douglas. He lets it roll, and Reed will have their first possession at about their own 42-yard line. Let's take a look at Reed's offense as they come on the field. They're led by senior quarterback Dax Dayton. Your running back, we know who it is, Bronwyn Rios. Fun to watch him. Purdom, Douglas, McGuire, your wide receivers. Adrian Herrera is the scheduled tight end, although he's more of an offensive lineman. Up front, it's Mavini, Fafita, another Mavini at center. Ramirez and Pineda are your offensive line.
You know, good job by Reed. They they won the toss, delayed their choice to the second half. Now they've got great field position after a good defensive stand. They've got momentum right now.
We'll take a look at Bishop Manogue's defense after this first run by Rios. He puts the defense on spin cycle, breaks a tackle. He's down the left sideline, gets a block downfield, and he's going to go to the end zone. Touchdown, Reed.
Well, that's 57 yards of magic, isn't it, Don? Doesn't surprise you. Manogue's given up the big runs all year long.
We didn't see the spin right there, but he was hit in the backfield, spun out of that, and got a great block downfield on Joey Thomas, or J.T. Thomas rather, and that allowed Rios to take it to the house.
Well, we've seen magic from him for 3 years now. It doesn't surprise you when at home he gets the Reed crowd fired up, and boy, Manogue already with their backs against the wall.
Rios came in 112 carries, 702 yards with 8 touchdowns, make it 9 as he goes to, what was that, 57, did you say?
Yes, 57
So now
yards.
it's 759 yards on the year for Rios as the PAT is missed by Max Fuentes. And he had only missed 2 PATs prior to that. Watch this. Gets hit behind the line of scrimmage. There's the spin cycle by Rios. He will take it up the gut and then watch the block downfield right to the left of your screen right there. Just enough to hold up Thomas and allow Rios to get all the way to the end zone.
Well, everybody from the lineman all the way down to the split ends held their blocks.
Yes.
And there was a lineman that held his block right there at the point of attack, despite the fact he was hitting the backfield. And, hey, he's a big-time player. And, boy, what a year for running backs in Northern Nevada with Rios, Jackson of Douglas. It's really a lot of fun right now. Ernie Howard is going to have to find a way to slow Reed down. And you know how you do it? Get on a long drive, running the ball, and keep Rios off the field.
Career numbers for Bronwyn Rios, Chris? 504 carries, 3,676 yards, and 46 touchdowns. This one's picked up by Thomas. He's got some room up the middle. Now tries to go back out to the left. Can't go east and west. Boy, he had a ton of room right in front of him, and why he stopped is beyond me.
I don't know, but we have another update from Elko, and the surprise is building. Elko 14, Fallon 6, still in the first quarter.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to Randy on our next go-around. Yeah. He's probably having a good time out there tonight. You know, when you go to those, and Elko's smaller, obviously, than we are here in Reno Sparks, get to those small towns. Friday night football is the place to be. I bet you the whole town is out there tonight.
It should be exciting out there, and the weather's actually very good for this time of year in Elko. Only 32 degrees for a low tonight. So.
Reed's going to take a timeout. They'll use their first timeout of the night with 10:08 left here in the first quarter. It is 6-0 Reed on the strength of a Bronwyn Rios 57-yard touchdown run on the first offensive play of the night for the Reed Raiders.
Remember, one of the keys to the game for Manogue is what? Attention to detail, which means keep your spot on the line. You know what? Reed just outcompeted Manogue on that initial play. Once the first man missed, Reed just held their blocks and pushed Manogue around. It's going to be a long night for the green and gold if they can't find a way to stop the run.
We're going to have Bishop Manogue on back-to-back weeks here on Friday Night Rivals. Another huge matchup next Friday night will be Bishop Manogue hosting the Spanish Springs Cougars. Spanish Springs is hosting Douglas tonight, and that'll be an interesting score to watch just because Zach Jackson's on the field for the Douglas Tigers.
And an update from Galena Damani in the first quarter, already up 14-0 over the Grizzlies. Thanks to Michael Reeves, who's tracking all those scores down for us.
Attaboy, Michael. Good to have you back this week. He was out gallivanting around the country somewhere last week. We had Shannon Kelly on the broadcast.
We traded up.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, but hey, somebody had to.
Well, he attacked me earlier, so I had to.
Here's a handoff to Magruder's. Got some running room over the left side. He's going to have 11 yards and a first down.
Boy, that's a nice response for Bishop Manogue's offense. They need to make those kinds of plays. And again, you know, the guy who brought the no-huddle spread offense to Northern Nevada, Ernie Howard, has been running it for like 25 years now.
And again, had great success here at Reed. Guy who's won over 200 games in his career. His 200th game, I think, Chris, if you remember right, came at Bishop Manogue a few years ago when he beat this Reed Raider team for his 200th career win. They're going to try short side of the field right with Magruder. Not a lot of running room over there as Reed will stack up Magruder, and push him out of bounds.
So Magruder is one of those, one in a long line of Bishop Manogue running backs who just seems to, pile up some yards, score some touchdowns. But the key for Manogue tonight is going to be stay ahead of the sticks, and they're going to need to complete some passes. And now is the time.
Well, there's the first one to Simmons, their leading receiver. He's not going to have a lot of room out there. He might get a yard, and that is it.
Well, it's going to set up a 3rd and long for Bishop Manogue. They're going to be at about 3rd and 6 and right near midfield. So Manogue's defense obviously did not handle Rios on the first play of the game. They need a first down or two here to keep the momentum in green and gold.
I thought it was interesting when I got the 2-deep chart from Coach Hughes this week that he had Bronwyn Rios playing as the rover in this defense. And I looked at their defensive stats. He hadn't even made a tackle all year. Here's Magruder on the outside, and he'll be drugged down by who else? That's number 14. I think we know who totes that jersey around the field.
Boy, I'll tell you, that he is just such a wonderful player to watch, and we feel like he's part of the family. He's been on the air so much with us, but a tremendous play. That is going to be a first down if Bronwyn Rios doesn't make that play.
So for Rios, at least by their stats on Max Prep, not having a tackle all year long, he's made the last 2 tackles in this game. Here is Kyle Nelson to kick it away. Jesse Douglas is the deep man. High snap, handled, gets the kickoff. Douglas is going to let it bounce, and that will go into the end zone for a touchback, and we will take a timeout. With 8:15 left here in the first quarter, Reed on one offensive play got 57 yards from Rios. They lead it 6-0 after the PAT was no good. You're watching Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. Kella Tamboan Kao was the deep man, not Jesse Douglas. Got a correction on that. Let that one wisely go over his head and go into the end zone, so Reed will get it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, their second offensive possession of the night.
Well, Manogue needs to wrap up while tackling, and they're going to have to be strong against the run.
Try to swing it out of the backfield to Rios, and that one's going to be a little bit too tall for Rios, who is listed at 5'9", 201 pounds. And if you watched our broadcast a couple weeks ago from here, you know that Bronwyn Rios is going to keep his talents here in Northern Nevada, is signed to play with the Wolfpack.
And he's going to graduate early and enroll at Nevada in January.
Very nice.
And right now, 2nd and 10, so it's 2nd and long. And remember, one of the keys to the ball game was to, make sure you're not playing behind the sticks. But that's going to be important for Garrett Hughes' team right now.
Here's a handoff. Good gang tackling by Manogue that time. They'll bring Rios down in the backfield. Big number 68, Jacoby Cherry, the nose tackle.
Well, he knocked him down, and then he pulled him up pretty hard, too. Watch him.
Cherry kind of came in at the end of that. Rios was already grabbed in the backfield, so.
Hey, when you're the last guy onto the pile, you're the first guy named, right?
That's right. Yeah, you say, hey, I can see his jersey.
Well, now they're playing behind the sticks, so let's see how Garrett Hughes' team responds to that.
Loss of 3, 3rd down and 13. Rios to the right side of Dayton. He's going to roll out to the right, look upfield, still looking, still on his feet, will take off. Will not be anywhere near the first down. He might get that original 3 yards back, but that'll bring up a 4th down and long.
Well, a much-needed stand for the Bishop Manogue defense. They gave up the big play on the first play of the game. They've played very well since then. Good blocking by Reed to keep a sack from happening. Eventually, Marley Spuler gets the tackle with a little cheerleading help from Caden Evans out there on the outside.
Yep, Spuler leads this team with 61 tackles this year. He's got 8 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. Very active middle linebacker in this Bishop Manogue defense. Max Fuentes to kick. Puts it in the air. Fair catch called for and made at the 46-yard line. Nate Simmons, who's their leading punt returner. 16 punt returns, Chris, and normally, I guess we watch so much NFL football, you see punt returners in the NFL, if they average 10 yards a punt return, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Well, Nate Simmons averages 16 yards per punt return on 16 punt returns this year.
Boy, that's a 1st down and a half on field position.
You bet. 1st and 10, Miners. Here's Magruder over the left side, breaks a tackle, gets into the open. We'll have about 15, and here comes a very late flag. That was thrown at the feet.
That's the second holding penalty of the game on Manogue already.
Yeah, I think that was thrown at the feet of Cole Cronin, big number 74.
Got some score updates for you, Don.
Let's hear them.
Spanish Springs 21, Douglas nothing first quarter.
Boy.
They have a juggernaut going out at Spanish Springs.
If they ever.
First quarter action via Michael Reeves, McQueen 7, Carson nothing.
Boy, Carson showed us some heart last week, didn't they?
Oh my! I did not expect them to be able to do what they did to Douglas. Didn't expect it.
Our director making his directorial debut tonight told us that was 74 who got caught with the hold. Max Zuro, not Cole Cronin. Oh, excuse me, 54. Trey McKinney, the guy starting at right guard tonight, got caught. Thank you. Directorial debut.
Poor Trey. The only time linemen get noticed is when they do something wrong, isn't it?
This was a late change in their lineup. I got that change from Ernie Howren this morning that Trey McKinney was starting at right guard tonight in replace of Caden Steffen.
2nd down and 20 for Bishop Manogue.
Man to throw, looking underneath. Gets Magruder out of the backfield. He'll go up the left sideline, be pushed out of bounds. Bring up a manageable 3rd down of about 3rd and 7.
And you're at a part of the territory. I don't think you go for it unless it's 4th and a half an inch or something like that. But this makes it easy that if you don't gain yardage and you punt, you're still going to keep Reed on a long field.
Just on their side of midfield are the Miners of Bishop Manogue. They'll split 3 receivers wide right, 1 to the left. Man wants to throw for the 1st down. Throws upfield, pass caught. That'll be enough for a 1st down as
Joey Thomas,
yes.
And I'll tell you, that ball was thrown a little bit behind. Thomas kind of looked like he was had to twist around like a Gumby to make that catch. Watch his body. Watch the control of his body on this pass. And he twists around and falls for the 1st down. That's even smarter that he knew where the 1st down marker was.
Young man was hurt at the beginning of the year, has come back from injuries. That's just his 7th catch of the year for Bishop Manogue.
He'll be going to the University of Nevada also.
Eli Peterson, the tight end, is set up just off the hip of the left tackle, Cole Cronin. Man will hand it to Magruder. No, that's not Magruder. Is that Escovedo? It is. Evan Escovedo will take it to the house.
That's 44 yards of magic for Bishop Manogue. They're an extra point away from taking the lead.
Evan Escovedo, who had only 64 yards on the year, at least as of right now, will have 44 yards. But if you look behind the officials there on the field, there's a little bit of laundry, and it doesn't belong to the Bishop Manogue Miners. Let's see what the penalty is.
Well, Manogue doesn't look too positive right now. They're marching backwards.
Well, this is a long discussion between our referee.
Well, it's going to be a point of the flag foul, point of the spot. So they're going to have to figure out if it's going to be a 1st down anyway or not.
So you're talking about a hold downfield then on a block.
Now, wait a minute here. Manogue keeps heading back with an extra point team down here. So here we go. Alan Brown with the...
Well, they've got no microphone on the official tonight, and Brown is coming over to tell Garrett Hughes what the infraction was. And you're right, Bishop Manogue has gone down to attempt the extra point and take the lead.
Okay, so who got that touchdown again, Donnie?
That was number 20.
Number 20.
Evan Escovedo.
Wow. Escovedo.
So here's the penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Bishop Manogue. Okay, whoever they called that on, they have thrown out of the game. He just gave the heave-ho thumb. I don't know who it was.
Well, that means that kid is going to miss next week's game.
So Michael Reeves, I know you can hear us. If you can do some research down there and get to the other side and find out who just got the personal foul and got chucked out of this game, the touchdown stands. And Kyle Nelson, will attempt the extra point to put Bishop Manogue on top. But we've just had an unsportsmanlike conduct after the play, and that player has been ejected from the game.
Boy, to get ejected, you really have to do something pretty harsh.
Maybe our crew in the truck can scour through the film and see if they can find who committed the personal foul. It had to be pretty egregious to get thrown out of the game. So here is Nelson to try to add the PAT and give Bishop Manogue the lead. After the touchdown run by Escovedo, it is good, and Kyle Nelson is a perfect 21 of 21 on PATs. Let's take a look here, Chris, on our America First replay. See if we can see. Here's Escovedo going up the middle. A little bit too tight. That personal foul is going to be back behind him, but Escovedo takes it to the house. Again, he came in with 64 yards total on the year. He gets 44 on that one.
So 2 big plays, and Manogue has the advantage because they hit the extra point.
All right, let's throw it down to the sidelines. Michael Reeves, did you find anything out for us on who just got ejected?
We did find out who got ejected in this game. It's going to be Bishop Manogue's Damari Stacker.
Oh.
Huge loss for the Miners. He was running into a referee intentionally, so that's going to be gone from this game and gone next week.
Wow. They deemed he was running into an official intentionally.
Wow.
That might be hard to prove in a court of law.
Well, they don't have courts of law. It's what the officials saw. It'll be interesting. Both, Manogue will look at the game film and see what they can accomplish there. You have to wait for the report to get to the NIAA, but that is not being cool under fire by any measure, even getting yourself into position to be accused of that.
Well, maybe again, I'll ask our truck, maybe our Wade's camera from the north end might have picked that up somewhere on that replay if you can find it. I would like to see exactly. That's a tough one. Damari Stacker came in with 23 catches, 5 touchdowns. The 185-pound sophomore has been ejected for what Michael told us the officials deemed he was intentionally running into an official on the field. Nice deep kick.
There's room.
And the return man gets up across the 35-yard line to about the 36-yard line. I think that was Kayla Camboan-Ko with the return.
A little tough from long. On the camera, you can see the numbers. Long distance from up here in the booth. Dark numbers on a black jersey. Not easy to see.
Still tell the story with the Wolfpack crew as the engineer.
Yeah.
Dan Gustin, I believe Billy Daniel doing the play-by-play. We went to Hawaii one year. They had black jerseys with deep green numbers.
Oh, I remember those.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, they were kind of cool looking, but from a standpoint of a guy trying to figure out who does what on the field from this distance, and we were much higher than we are here, It was impossible. 1st and 10, Reed, 2 backs, split each side of Dayton. Now he'll come up under center. They'll have I backs. They give this one. Is that Shayshawn Rivero or is that that is Rivero on the carry? Looked like Rios was trying to get a block, kind of got held up at the line of scrimmage, and Shayshawn, who, how would you describe them? Thunder and lightning?
Oh, yes.
Thunder and lightning, the 2 backs in this Reed backfield.
And Amir Magruder at safety comes up and finishes it. And remember, you better finish these 2 runners. They're not going down with one man tackling it. You better be gang tackling on the Reed running backs.
Shayshawn came in 459 yards on 36 carries, Chris. He's averaging 12.8 yards a carry. Quick slant over the middle, complete. Not going to be enough for a first down, but a good gainer for the Reed Raiders. And that one's hauled in by Jaden Purdom.
And that's Magruder making the play again. Magruder going both ways. Well, maybe he's going to play more defense than he is going to play offense tonight.
Well, we saw that last week with Zach Jackson. Remember, he played free safety for Douglas, and
he was
laying some lumber on the defensive side of the ball.
You got to wonder, Douglas down 21-0 in the first quarter to a very good Spanish Springs team, if all these tough losses are starting to pile up on him emotionally. They've lost some real tough games.
I would agree. 3rd down and 1. Ball at the 45-yard line. Reed on their own 45. Dayton takes the snap, fakes the handoff, goes over the right side, has the first down, and he will get into Bishop Manogue territory to the 46-yard line.
Nice call by the Reed coaching staff, because all attention is being paid to Bron Rios. And this way they've used 2 different running backs and completed a pass. Rios has yet to touch it. And look, wide open, big hole to run through. First down into Miner territory for Reed.
Great look from our up camera tonight. He's actually about, our up camera shooter tonight is actually about as wide as the tripod that his camera sits on now. Big congrats to Kosick. Boy, he is, I'm not sure what kind of diet he's on, but it's working. Here's Dayton to throw. over the right side. Can't get out of the tackle by Jacoby Cherry. Cherry brings him down.
This time, Cherry was the one and only man on the pile. Did you see that upper body strength?
Yeah.
He just kind of lassoed him to the ground. Have an update from McQueen. McQueen, it's all McQueen tonight against Carson. Early second quarter, 14-0 in favor of the Lancers.
We thought that would be a tight one. We did get an update from Elko at the end of one quarter. The Elko Indians lead the Churchill County Green Wave 14-6. And we'll be checking in at our halftime here with Randy Ridgway, who's out at that game. Oh, what a nice catch by Rios. Boy, the body adjustment he had to make. And look, there's 8 guys trying to bring him down, and they still don't get him down.
They didn't get him down. But Manogue understood their assignment. It isn't going to take 1. It is going to take 2. It'll take 3 or more to bring Bron Rios down, and he still rode the pile out of bounds.
You said 3 or 4. I think there's 6 or 7. I might have said 8, but there's 6 or 7 out there.
There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 5 guys actively pushing him. The 6th was there to help.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 as we've gone inside 2 minutes left here in the first. Dayton will take the snap, throw out of the backfield to Rios. He's got room up the left side. Down, no, that's Shayshawn Rivero. Rivero cuts it inside a block and goes to the end zone. Touchdown Raiders.
42-yard pass for a touchdown to Rivero.
Boy, he got the corner, and he, like the long run by Rios, got great blocking downfield, Chris. Watch these blocks downfield to give him a lane.
A linebacker right there missed his assignment.
There's a block right there on the right side of your screen, and it'll help from Rios. Into the end zone goes Rivero.
I'm pretty sure Brendan Wild, number 34, was probably supposed to contain on that play. Not sure. But you saw him. He was doing a lot of chasing, and he wasn't doing much catching. Another huge play. Reed has scored on runs of 57 from Rios, 42-yard pass to Rivero.
I'm going to say this, and we'll look at it when we come back from break. Here's a 2-point conversion. They'll pitch it to Rivero. Now he's going to throw it into the end zone. Too far out of bounds, incomplete. And as we take a break, it is Reed 12, Bishop Manogue 7. Back after this on Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. Okay, after this kickoff, we're going to take a look back at that touchdown as there's a fair catch called for and made at the 33-yard line of Bishop Manogue. Guys, let's run that replay back because we think it might have been a lateral and not actually a pass forward. Well, we need to see it from the up camera. That one's probably not going to show us the angle. Can't see the angle on that one, but there you see Rivero down the left sideline. But if we can see that from the up camera, I think you'll see that it was actually a lateral pass and not a pass downfield. So we're going to look at it here after this first offensive play. But, Chris, I initially saw it and thought that was a backwards pass or a lateral, but we'll take a look after this play. Here's Magruder over the left sideline, breaks a tackle, picks up about 13 yards. He'll have a first down for the Bishop Manogue Miners. So here it is. So here's the pass, and we'll see if it's actually thrown back or forward. I think it was back.
No, that's forward.
Pretty close. We're going to go forward pass and a touchdown. So that's a passing touchdown and not a lateral. Thanks for the look, guys. Perfectly done. You see when he releases, the ball does go forward. Rivero was deep on that before the pass came forward. Here's Mann. Deep up the field. Got a receiver behind the defense. The catch is made for a big gain downfield by Nate Simmons.
Boy, Simmons is dangerous, isn't he? And boy, Bishop Manogue, they give up these big plays, but they certainly look like they have a good offensive game plan tonight. Take a look at Mann, who when he throws the deep ball is very good at throwing a deep ball. Might be the best quarterback in Northern Nevada to throw a deep ball.
Well, I'll say this. If he would have led Simmons a little bit more, that's probably 6. Because, I mean, he kind of threw it behind him a little bit. But a 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Here's a handoff to Magruder. He's going to try the left side. Still on his feet as the clock winds under a minute.
That's almost an 8-yard carry by maybe the smallest running back on the field. So Manogue they will probably have to run one more play before the quarter goes out.
Clock ticking with 35 seconds left in the first quarter. They've got the ball. 2nd down and 4, we'll call it. Mann will hand off to Magruder, right up the gut, runs into the back of one of his blockers. That'll move the chains. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. It'll be a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. They'll wind the clock, and let's see if Bishop Manogue wants to go into the north end zone or the south end zone. They wind the clock. And Bishop Manogue's going to be content with running this 1st and goal inside the 5, going north, not south. After 1 quarter of play, the Reed Raiders lead the Bishop Manogue Miners by a score of 12-7. We'll see if that changes when we come back. You're watching Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. So Bishop Manogue will have a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line to try to take the lead here, trailing by 5 after 2 failed extra point attempts by Reed, one on the PAT with the kick, the other one they tried a 2-point conversion, unsuccessful. So Bishop Manogue could take the lead here on this touchdown. They've got Amir Magruder in the backfield behind quarterback Brandon Mann, 2 receivers wide to the right. Couple of tight ends in on the formation this time.
Boy, Magruder's run the ball with a lot of authority early on in this game.
Bishop Manogue calls a play. Mann slaps his hands together, and then everybody turns around to the sideline and checks to see what play they want to run. Mann takes the snap. The play is handed to Magruder and let him get to the end zone. He does just that. Touchdown Miners on 4-yard run by Amir Magruder.
Boy, Amir Magruder really runs with purpose, knows when to kind of has his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage and takes a quick dive for the goal line, and Bishop Manogue goes ahead. And now will they go for 2 or will they settle for 1?
I think they'll go for 1 here.
That's a
great shot by Wade, one of our fantastic 4 on the field tonight, Chris.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky. We have some very nice cameramen out there.
Yes, we do.
And Manogue will go for 1. This is not the time to chase points.
Kyle Nelson trying to remain perfect in the PAT department on the year, and he does. He's now 22 of 22 on the season. The Miners take a 14-12 lead. Chris, during the 4th quarter of tonight's game, we want you to stick around because we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Your school bus stop of the game coming your way in the 4th quarter of tonight's game.
You know what? And as I told you, today, leaving my neighborhood, had to wait for a school bus, and I always think of just be smart. When you're not sure, stop. Figure it out.
You would be amazed at how many, how do I describe them?
Knuckleheads?
Yeah, knuckleheads would be a good word to use, that don't obey that law. And, I mean, there's penalties. You could have your license suspended.
Oh, yeah.
Buses have cameras on them, folks. I can tell you from personal experience. Buses have cameras. You try to run a red light on a school bus that stopped, they're going to find you.
Have a score from Elko.
Oh, what do we got?
Elko has tied it up 14-14. Elko's had a couple of turnovers of their own.
Churchill County tied it up because Elko
Churchill tied it up. I mean, 6:10 left in the first half. They're getting all their money's worth out there in good old Elko. Churchill County.
I'm not sure why I'm thinking that might be the first of 2 meetings between those two schools this year.
I'm thinking so too.
Nelson with a big leg will kick that one all the way out of the back of the end zone, so Reed will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
That's important for the Miners to make Reed play with a long field. This will be the worst, the second time in this game where Reed has had to start with 1st and 10 at their own 20. That's a long field to navigate. But they also have big play possibilities with a couple of their players. So, and Manogue has not stopped the big play. So it's going to be, I think we're just in for a long, exciting night here at Reed High.
Well, you've got Thunder and Lightning, as you've described them. Rios and Rivero both have scored a touchdown tonight, and we officially gave that play a pass between Dayton and Rivero to score their 2nd touchdown.
Yeah, Dayton wants that stat, so don't take that TD pass away from him.
I wasn't trying to take it away from him. 3 receivers wide right. Dayton throws up fields, got a receiver, connection made, 1st down, Reed Raiders.
Boy, Dax Dayton was running for his life, and he had the wherewithal to set his feet and the arm strength to get it to the outside to the only man who could catch it. Watch that.
Jaden Purdom downfield. Well thrown, drops it in a bucket. There's the first down out across the 35-yard line.
Boy, that throw gets more impressive with the replay, doesn't it?
Yeah, it did. Kind of throwing on the run, having to heave it downfield, and had enough on it to get to Purdom.
17-yard gain, so they get out of that hole at the 20-yard line, see if they can sustain this drive, the Reed Raiders.
That's right about Purdom's average per catch. He averages 17 yards a catch, and here's Rios. Oh, my goodness, what a move! Into the open field, he turns on the Jets. He'll be caught at the 10 and drugged down at the 1-yard line. J.T. Thomas, the third, drags him down. Watch that move right there.
Wow. Ooh, what balance. He's gone. Look, he's running away from people. Joey Thomas finds him and takes him down. They're going to call it at the 2. I think that's about 54 yards on the rush, I think.
We're going to find out from our crack stat crew. How many yards? 56, Chris. You didn't take your right shoe off, did you?
You know me in math.
First and goal from the 2-yard line for the Raiders, looking to regain the lead, trailing 14-12. Dayton up under center with 3 backs in the backfield. They'll give it to the deep man, Rios, and he patiently waits for the hole to open, as we've seen him do a number of times, and Rios goes into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night.
Do you think this has all the makings of a shootout? 11:08 remaining in the second quarter, and we just had, 2 touchdowns scored in the first minute of the second quarter.
There was no hole where he was supposed to go, and he just kind of slid to the right, only had 2 yards to get to the end zone, made it easily. And let's see here, I think Reed is going to try for 2 again.
Well, Reed is just kind of, once you go for 2 and you miss, you almost always have to keep going for 2. So this is going to come back to haunt Reed possibly later in this game, missing extra points. So, yes, they're going to go for 2 here. But, hey, thunder and lightning. Wow.
I've got a story to tell you about going for 2 here after this 2-point attempt by the Reed Raiders. One of the most famous go-for-2s that they had to go for 2 and didn't get it.
Oh, can't wait to hear that. Uncle Don's story time.
Dayton up under center. And into the end zone easily goes Shayshawn Rivero for the 2-point conversion to make it 20-14. So here's your 2-point conversion story. University of Nevada goes to Boise State one year. You are in it. Dan Gustin does his interview with Chris Alton, gets the lowdown on what's going to happen. And then as we're leaving the room, Dan says, anything else you need to tell us? And Chris Alton says, we're going to run it down their throat tonight. Now, Boise State was something like 10th in the country, only allowing 60 yards per game. Chris Alton said, we're going to run it down their throat. Colin Kaepernick literally ran it down their throat. It was either a 6 or 7 overtime game.
I remember that.
And you get to a point where you have to go for 2.
Yeah.
And Nevada missed that 2-point conversion,
and
having
lost.
to go for 2 and lost by 1. It was an epic game.
69-68.
Yeah, it was an
It was
epic
on
football
ESPN
game.
on a Sunday night, as I recall.
It was quite a ball game. And Chris Alt told us, and Chris Alt's prediction came true, because I think Nevada I think Boise State was giving up something like 68 yards a game, and the Pack ran over them for about 380 or 390, something like that.
Well, when you have a quarterback like Kaepernick who can run as well as he could, that's a tough one.
The touchdown and the 2-point conversion will make it a 6-point lead for the Reed Raiders. We still have 11-plus minutes to go here in the second quarter. Here's the kick by Fuentes. That one will go deep into the end zone. Boy, he got some leg on behind that one. By the way, Chris, I see that your call to Mother Nature was a successful one, because we have a perfect night for football at Reed High School.
Yes, and it really is beautiful. I mean, I didn't even have to bring my battery-powered socks.
I know. It is gorgeous out here tonight. Last time we were here, they had had a bunch of rain the night before. They had a bunch of rain that afternoon.
It was chilly.
It was chilly. It was a muddy track. I think that they had left the grass a little bit long that night. Well, they cut it short tonight. We're on a short track, Chris, and we are putting up some points.
Hey, I'll tell you, and Bishop Manogue now with the long field, and they have to score on almost every possession because their defense just can't stop Reed.
Here's a handoff to Evan Escovedo. He's the one that scored that 44-yard touchdown run, and Escovedo will get a couple of yards.
It's interesting. Escovedo getting some time, the junior running back, because Amir Magruder is spending time both on offense and on defense.
You mentioned you wondered if Magruder might be more of a key cog in the wheel of the defense, although he is their leading ball carrier by far.
Now, Bishop Manogue is used to playing in high-scoring games.
Quick pass to the outside to Thomas, sidesteps a tackler, and he will have plenty enough for a first down. And Bronwyn Rios out there to help him out of bounds.
Wow. What a player to watch, Rios.
Yeah.
His balance on that last run was incredible. Now, is this a cramp or remember, Thomas has missed some time, and he's slow getting back to the huddle or towards the line of scrimmage again. There's the pass to Thomas.
Planted that foot and went upfield, sidestepped one tackler, but there was Bronwyn. Here's a handoff over the right side. Good gang tackling by the Reed Raiders that time.
That was actually, I think, a fake, and the quarterback kept it, and everybody smelled it out. And it's going to be a loss of maybe a half yard, if that at all.
I think this, let's see, are you going to let you take a guess at who gets up off the bottom of this pile?
Yeah, Bronwyn Rios.
Yeah, he snuffed it out. Stood up there by Oswaldo Pineda, but then in came Rios to help and finish up the tackle.
Well, these Reed kids are tired of losing to Manogue in close games. They're motivated tonight. Now, will they be motivated enough to stop them? And there's a timeout Reed, their second one of the game.
We'll keep it right here. Again, that'll give us a chance to remind you that next week we will be out at Bishop Manogue High School. Big showdown. Bishop Manogue hosting the Spanish Springs Cougars, who are having their way with the Douglas Tigers tonight. And I think Chris just got a score update for us.
I did. Tell me when you want them.
Oh, I'm ready. I've been ready for about 30 seconds.
Well, actually, we have McQueen and Carson. It's McQueen now 20-0 after a touchdown and a blocked PAT over Carson. That's in the second quarter. And with 18 seconds left in the first half, Elko scores on a 1-yard TD run. They lead Fallon or Churchill County 21-14. 18 seconds remaining in the half. Upset alert in Elko County.
Well, you say upset alert. Elko lost to Truckee a couple of weeks ago. That's their only league loss. Churchill County is undefeated in league. Remember, going into last week's game at Fernley, Churchill County in 7 games had given up a grand total of 13 points. So in back-to-back weeks, they gave up 15 last week to Fernley. They've given up 21 to Elko tonight.
Well, Elko's pretty good, and they have home field advantage, and that's always a tough field to play on.
Man to throw out of the backfield. Completion to Brendan Wild, and Reed is saying they coughed up the ball. It's picked up by the Raiders. Down the right sideline they go. There was no signal that he was down. The ball was picked up by Josh Guerrera. And that was one of the keys to the game for Reed, create turnovers. If they just did, they get it deep in Bishop Manogue territory.
Well, first that pass is bobbled, and then he tucks it under, does the Miners number 34. Let's take a look, and right there, somebody strips it.
There it is, ball's
definitely out.
Now, no, he got to his feet cleanly.
Yeah, Brendan Wild. Unfortunately for him, he fumbles that football. Manogue in a deep hole now. It's about to get deeper. First and goal from just inside the 10. Well, you can smell the momentum here, along with the hamburgers at Reed High.
So here's the hit. Hat on the ball. 25, Guerrero was on the ground. He gets up, picks it up, and scoots down the right sideline, and Reed has it 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. They'll call it 1st and goal. Here is Rios, right into a mass of humanity in the middle of the line of scrimmage. He'll get a yard or two, and that's about it.
Well, it's a rather silent Bishop Manogue bench and crowd over there. They're not used to seeing the Miners make mistakes and get pushed around. Tonight they're making mistakes. And you know what? The Reed Raiders are just a good football team.
Yeah. Yep, they didn't play last week. Neither did Bishop Manogue. It was the week where all the schools up here, I say up here, we were down in Minden for that Carson-Douglas matchup, but all of the schools here in the Reno area did not play last week, so they've had 2 weeks off to prepare for this tilt.
Yeah, it was fall break, and a lot of people took advantage.
There'll be a timeout called by Reed, and we will take it. We will step aside. Reed leading 20-14, 8:35 left in the second quarter. You're watching Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. Already leading by 6. Here's a fake handoff. Dayton throws to the end zone, and is that intercepted? No, incomplete. The defender was on the ground. That was Nate Simmons, and he almost picked that off laying on his backside.
You know, I think Manogue would like it when Reed throws rather than run the football, and they want to take advantage there. Now, Reed is out of timeouts. Not a major thing. You know, they want to get things right. But near the end of the half, they're not going to be able to stop the clock, but they do get the football to start the third quarter.
Ball is on the right hash, so they have the whole left side of the field to work with. Dayton will send Rios in motion. Wanting to throw, dumps it underneath, pass caught, and down at the 1-yard line.
Looks like Reed might have gotten away with a hold on the backside protection for the quarterback, Dax Dayton. One of the Miner linemen was trying to say, hey, man, what about this? But no flag flies, or did it?
Sean McGuire on the reception to get it down to the 1. This is Bronwyn Rios' time here.
Is it fourth down? Yes, it is.
4th and goal from the 1. This would be a huge stop for Bishop Manogue if they can keep him out.
You got a jumbo package there, too. Lineman in the
Adrian
backfield.
Herrera. Here's a handoff to Rivero. He stood up at the line of scrimmage, but they say he got in. Touchdown, Shayshawn Rivero.
Well, you put the jumbo package in there, you're going to get some big blocks up in the middle, and you're going to need every ounce of effort here as Rivero finds his way via second effort into the end zone. Touchdown, Reed Raiders.
Yeah, I think he got stopped at the line of scrimmage, Chris, and then just battled his way in for the 6th. Second touchdown of the night for Rivero. Bronwyn Rios has 2 touchdowns tonight.
Now Reed is going to go for 2 again.
3rd straight time.
Well, they have a kind of a 1 3/4 touchdown lead here.
Here's a handoff to Rivero. He will get to the end zone. 2-point conversion successful, and it's a 2-touchdown plus PAT lead for the Reed Raiders with 7:45 left here in the second quarter. So, Chris, they're chasing points, and they've got a couple of them back now.
Well, and I'll tell you, this is good news for the Reed Raiders. Now, don't forget, they get the ball to start the second half. So Bishop Manogue, with their 3 timeouts and 7:46 remaining, they need to have a really solid next 7:46 to try to crawl back into this game, because Reed is in danger of kind of pushing Manogue around the field there. They're going to have to get their act together now. No more fumbles.
If you were with us at the beginning of the broadcast, you saw last year's game where Bishop Manogue went up big early, 28-7, before Reed came back, tied it at 28, tied it at 35, and Bishop Manogue eventually won it on the 7-yard touchdown run by Pele Messina.
Time to go over some scores, Donald?
Well, let's first let our viewers know you can order a copy of this game simply by emailing me at dawn@ddsp.tv. Each copy you order will be $30, a great idea for Christmas. Put it under your Christmas tree. It's going to come on a jump drive, so you don't have to take up a lot of room under your Christmas tree, unless you're one of those people that put little presents in great big boxes.
My late mother-in-law used
Did she do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Here's the kick. dawn@ddsp.tv, $30 per copy. We'll get you a copy of this game when it's all said and done. And scores coming in.
Halftime, Spanish brings up over Douglas 21-0. Damani over Galena, late second, 21-0. It is 20-0. McQueen over Carson, late second. Reno at halftime over Hug, 43-0, as expected. Elko chews up the last part of the second quarter. They go into the locker room leading 21-14 over Fallon. Elko gets the second half kickoff.
That's one to watch. Here's man to throw. Look for Simmons. He was covered, so man takes off around the right side. Sidesteps a tackler, will pick up 11 or 12 yards and get the first down.
You remember, man last year ran the ball a lot more, especially down the stretch. He has not been running as much as he did last year. that could be a big part of the late season offense for the Miners because you want to keep that defense honest.
Last year he rushed for 866 yards on 136 carries. Coming into this game, Mann had rushed it just 80 times for 537 yards. Quick throw outside and blown up in the backfield. What a defensive play that time.
That's Kayla Tamboa Keo who blows up a blocker and blows up a pass receiver. That shows you the effort Reed's putting out tonight, and it's paying off.
But that was a one-on-one, too, because if Simmons had gotten outside, there was nobody out there.
No. So that's just individual effort taking care of business out there for the Reed Raiders.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Mann will throw, looking right. Goes up the seam, pass caught. And I believe that's J.T. Thomas who hauled that one in.
Yeah, Thomas. The Miners have been missing Thomas. He was injured for most of the year. And when he gets up, he looks like he's kind of favoring a leg or something there, but he gets into position, makes a nice play, moves the sticks for Bishop Manogue.
Remember, Bishop Manogue is without one of their starting wide receivers, and I'll tell you why after this snap. Happened in this game. Here's a handoff to Amir Magruder over the right side. He'll pick up about a yard, and that is it. Damari Stacker on a touchdown run by Evan Escovedo was flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. Michael Reeves, our sideline reporter, told us that he found out that they said that Stacker was intentionally running into one of our officials tonight, and that's why they threw the flag and they kicked him out of this game. He has not been in this game for most of this first half.
Boy, if that proves to be true, that is not a good look.
Mann with the fake handoff. Now they'll throw underneath. Pass complete. This one's to the tight end, Eli Peterson. Peterson will be run out of bounds in front of the Raider bench inside of Raider territory.
Boy, they set up that tight end screen very nicely. They know how excited Reed is to get pressure on the quarterback. They took advantage of that defensive excitement, set up a screen, and then very nicely done by Elijah Peterson, cutting across the field, showing some speed, getting some help on the outside, and down finally. First down inside the 40.
Just over 6 minutes left here in the first half, as this will be Escovedo in the backfield. He's going nowhere. Maybe, well, I guess he squirted his way through for about a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, he kept those little legs a churning and got 3 yards when it looked like he was only going to get 1 at most.
Escovedo, just a junior. Simmons will split wide to the left, 2 receivers out to the right. Mann will look to throw. Throws to Simmons, bobbled it, then finally hauled it in. What great concentration.
Mann is starting to find his rhythm.
Yeah.
They're giving him opportunity to throw these passes, and he's taking advantage. That little bobble there was interesting.
Watch this. I mean, he caught it, released it, great camera angle. And I got it. Nope, there it is.
Well, he was turning upfield before he finished the catch. So
yeah.
He was fortunate that he held on to that.
Run before he caught it. That's rule 1. Catch it and then run. Great shot, Wade. We got Wade back on the camera tonight. It's been a while since we've had Wade doing camera work for us. Here's Mann. Got one man to beat. Sidesteps that tackler. Still on his feet down the left sideline. Then finally,
is that Rios?
Bounced out of bounds by Bronwyn Rios.
Manogue got away with a block in the back down here. Remember, this is a 5-man officiating crew, and you can't see everything. Manogue should have had a flag thrown on about the 14-yard line, but a nice fake by Mann, and he's kind of taken over this drive with his legs and his arm.
Mann, I think, was surprised he was still on his feet.
You know, I agree. So Manogue, 5:18, and clock stopped. Remember, they have 3 timeouts left, so they want to score quickly to see if they can get another possession in this second half.
1st and goal from the 10. Mann steps up, got some room to run, down to about the 5-yard line, and he is pretzeled down. Well, I hope he gets up. That was a brutal tackle.
Boy, some people are strutting away from that saying, I feel good.
Watch this.
Drayton Cordova.
Watch this body just bend the way it's not supposed to bend.
Ooh,
ouch.
Ooh. We're lucky he got up after that one. I think his new nickname is Gumby.
That happened to me. I wouldn't get up for 3 days.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he might be feeling the effects of that tackle. He got bent backwards. 2nd and goal, gain of 4 for Mann. Here's a handoff. No, a fake by Mann, and he will ease into the end zone. Thought he had given it to Magruder. He did not. He fooled Reed's defense as well, and he had an easy 6-yard touchdown run.
Boy, this has been a crazy 4th touchdown of the second quarter. Take a look at that. Boy, he held it in there, and Reed fell for the fake, and he prances into the end zone for the
Now,
touchdown.
watch at the end here. Look, he is not 100%. I'll guarantee you that.
No, after that tackle, after that little, he went backwards. He's lucky that he's even walking at all.
Bishop Manogue trying to make it a 7-point game with a PAT attempt by Kyle Nelson. It is up. It is good. And we will step aside. With 4:34 left in the second quarter, it is Reed 28, Bishop Manogue 21. You're watching Friday Night Rivals on Nevada Sportsnet. Here's the kick by Kyle Nelson. That'll go into the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you, that's good defense by Manogue by finding a kicker that can put it into the end zone, giving Reed a long field. Now remember, 4:34 to go in the half. It would really behoove Reed to put together a sustained drive. Don't forget, they get the football to start the third quarter to the Reed Raiders. Bishop Manogue needs to stop and try to score to try to knot this up at halftime. So a lot of drama in the final 4:34.
Well, this is what happened last year. Again, if you caught the open, you saw what kind of excitement we had last year. It certainly is building to be that kind of game again this year.
You know, and fatigue, even in cool weather like this, can be a factor. A lot of kids playing both ways. Linemen get tired. They're big. They have to haul those bodies around. Whoever is in better shape may be the team that's going to win this football game.
Dayton will hand off to Rios over the right side. Gets away from one tackler, but he's too close to the sideline to make any real estate up. He'll be bounced out of bounds after a 2-yard gain.
He still stayed on his feet. Did you notice that?
I know. It's got to be like a great thing for a running back not to go down. We saw that earlier when they had 6 guys trying to tackle him out of bounds, and he never did go down.
Great point of pride. What a tremendous player. And he's gotten better every year. And every game, people know their main job is to stop Rios, and he gets even more unstoppable.
They have had a nice stable of running backs at this school for a number of years. Here's one of them, Rios. Nice tackle in the middle of the line of scrimmage by Bishop Manogue. Before Rios was here, you might remember the name, Spencer Firebaugh.
Oh, boy,
he was
he
another
fun
guy
to
that
watch.
could. Boy, he was. And then so you back up Firebaugh with Rios. So
Right.
you've had a nice run of about 6 years with running backs here at Reed High School. After this snap on a third down, or is that a second down? Second down.
3rd and 4.
3rd and 4. We're going to head down to the sideline and visit with our sideline reporter, Michael Reeves. We'll do that after this snap, so stand by. This is going to be Dayton trying to get the first down. Stood up, fighting for the sticks. Going to be about a half-yard short, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be short.
With that, let's head to the sidelines and visit with Michael Reeves. Michael, what do you got for us?
You know, Don, it was interesting with what the score is in this game. I asked both coaches coming into this game what the mentality was. I asked Ernie Halloran, he's had a couple of close games that he's won. How does he feel about his team? He said, we fought all season, and we feel we're coming into this hot at the right time. I asked Garrett Hughes what his thoughts were. He said, we're dangerous. We're a firecracker ready to explode, and he felt like this was the game that they could do it. With such a tight contest, I'll be intrigued to see how it comes out.
You and I, me both, Michael, and Chris and TJ and every fan here. No drama on a 4th and short. They gave him the first down out at the 30-yard line.
They did, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Because the official over there was a half yard.
He was short. It's going to be a delay of game on Reed.
Well, remember, Manogue has 3 timeouts left. I just assumed it was going to be 4th based on the way the line judges were
Absolutely.
trotting in.
Somebody won over on that and said, no, I got him for a first down, so that official there wasn't an argument, but won the discussion. 1st and 15. Dayton will throw, trying to get it to Rios. They do. Spins out of a tackle. He's going to be close to a first down.
Even if Reed does not get points out of this drive, if they're able to keep the ball out of Manogue's hands, Don, that will be mission accomplished. And Dayton, nice throw to the outside, and look at Rios. Nobody tackles Braun Rios.
He came into this game tied for the team lead with 16 catches, Chris. So they don't only just turn around and hand the ball to him, they throw the ball to him as well.
Boy, it'll be interesting to see who's the next great Reed running back.
Here's a handoff to Rios. Marley Spuler there to stand him up and push him back after a gain of 2. Spuler's a good middle linebacker.
Boy, he's very good. And Ernie Howard will tell you that Marley Spuler is like maybe the best player on the team. He's the team captain. You know, he just is a very good football player. And Reed, it's mission accomplished. They're chewing up clock, keeping Manogue away from the football.
Well, you talked about Ernie talking about Spuler. When he got me his 2 deep chart this week, this is what he wrote about Marley Spuler. Team leader, our best football player. It's high praise. Here's Rios. Spins out of a tackle, sidesteps another, and will pick up a first down.
And Spencer Schmidt finishes him off before he could go down the sideline for a touchdown. What are his numbers right now? He's already at 139 yards, averaging 15.4 per carry. Man down for the Miners is J.T. Thomas III, who has been battling injuries all year.
Last year, when these two teams met on October 9th here, we showed you some highlights with that from that game at the beginning of the broadcast. Rios had 23 carries, 195 yards, and a touchdown in that game here on this field. When Reed went to Bishop Manogue on November 15th for the Northern Zone Championship game, Rios had 28 carries, 214 yards, and 4 touchdowns in that game. That game was won by Bishop Manogue, 35-28. So 2 games last year were won by a single touchdown by Bishop Manogue.
Mr. Irresistible, Braun Rios.
Yeah. By the way, those 4 touchdowns, all 4 touchdowns for Reed in that game were off the legs of Braun Rios.
Reed controlling the clock here. It's another 1st and 10.
Dayton will roll right out of the pocket. Throw upfield. I think he was in bounds, was he not?
Oh, no, incomplete pass. He said that was an incomplete pass called by that official at the bottom of the screen.
Sean McGuire was the receiver who caught that, but did not have a foot down before he came down, so incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, ball sitting at the 47-yard line of the Miners.
And it stops the clock. Let's see it. Yeah, that's correct.
Oh.
That's the right call.
Wade Gearhart, what are we doing having you in the truck, by the way? I know he can't hear me, but what a great shot.
That was really good.
Wonderful shot. 2nd and 10. Quick throw over the middle, caught. But there's Amir Magruder with the tackle immediately. That catch was made by Jaden Purdom.
Manogue defense starting to look a little tired out there. You see some of the guys with their hands on their hips. If Reed can turn this into points, it's going to be a long road back for Bishop Manogue in that second half.
Got that right. At halftime tonight, during our halftime show, we're going to share with you the NSN Prep of the Week. Actually, they did this a couple of weeks ago. I think you're going to enjoy it as Rios is trying the left side. A flag comes flying in from the outside. Stiff arms a man, and Chris doesn't get tackled. But I think we're going to have a hold on the outside.
And boy, I'll tell you, Reed has played a clean game. They haven't had a lot of penalties against them. They had, I think, too much time, delay of game. So we'll see what the call is.
So the prep of the week that we're going to share with you as we get another look at this.
Oh, yeah, there's a hold right there. Yeah. And a nice left-handed throw from the side.
The Hug High soccer team will be the prep of the week, produced by NSN. It's actually a couple of weeks old, but Chris, if you want to talk high school soccer in the state of Nevada, you can't talk high school soccer unless you mention two teams here from the north, Hug High and Sparks High.
And that's a great rivalry when those two teams play.
It is. Hug, I believe, going into Wednesday night's matchup with these Reed Raiders here at Reed, were 16-1, and their only loss came to Sparks. Here's a screen pass. A one-handed catch by Rios and a tackle short of the first down.
Parker Scholl, is that number 5? Parker Scholl on defense, or did I miss? He's the backup quarterback normally, but somebody made a really nice tackle to keep that play from being a big one, and now Manogue calls a timeout. Here on the replay, look for the number who gets the tackle, because they set the screen up very nicely, except one man slips a block. No, that's number 9.
That's Marley Spuler.
Marley Spuler, yeah. He tackled like the best player on the team.
And because that's how Ernie Howard thinks of him. Also at halftime tonight, we're going to head back out to Elko. They've got to be into the second half out there by now. We had a 21-21 game at one point?
No, it was at this point. Let me check here. There we go. It was 21-14 Elko at halftime. Elko gets the football to start the third quarter.
That's right. They scored. It was 14-14. But we'll check in with Randy Ridgway out at Elko High School at halftime and get an update on that huge matchup in the 3A ranks. Churchill County playing Elko tonight out in Elko.
Now, Donnie, way back when in 1973, I played on a Manogue team that had to go to Elko. And, boy, they had the long knives out for us that day. We really got kicked around that field on a very cold night.
Here's a punt. Angling away from Simmons. He'll let it bounce, and it'll go inside the 15-yard line. And Bishop Manogue will have 85-plus yards to go in less than a minute.
With 2 timeouts.
See, in the NFL, you're thinking, no worries. All I got to do is get the ball to about midfield. My field goal kicker will kick a 65-yard field goal, and we'll get points on the board. That's not how it works in high school football, really, anywhere. But
no. And Elko's expanded their lead 28-14 third quarter. Ooh. Oh, boy, things are getting interesting.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Randy's going to be really happy when we talk to him at halftime about the game going on out there. Because that will hand Churchill County their first loss of the year if Elko holds on.
Not over yet.
I know it's not over yet.
8 minutes left in the third quarter, but that's not an expected result.
Man to throw. They go underneath on a crossing pattern. I think that was Simmons who caught that. Let me see when they get up from the pile. It was. Little drag across the middle will pick up a couple of yards.
Well, they're going to need to pick up a lot more couple of yards on that one. And Manogue took a timeout. So
yeah, they were hoping that they had Simmons one-on-one coverage with a linebacker, but let's remember who the linebackers are for the Reed Raiders. Jason Rivero and Oscar Cesaros, who are 2 very good middle linebackers.
And look what they're making Manogue earn every yard of this. And their whole goal is to bend, not break here. Keep Manogue off the scoreboard, get that football at the start of the third quarter, and here come the Reed Raiders.
I know it. That Michael Reeves will probably get a chance to chat with at least Garrett Hughes going into the locker room. We won't have it on camera, but I'll be interested to hear what Garrett Hughes thinks about the second half if Michael's able to catch up with him before he goes in the locker room.
Well, this has been such a good rivalry, especially when Ernie Howard left Reed, went to Manogue. They've played some really good football against each other.
Man, going to go deep up the left sideline for Thomas. Thomas makes the catch.
Whoa, he got up and looked like he was limping, but boy, he looked like a guy who had it all together on that one. They threw into double coverage, and it was a perfect pass from man to Thomas.
Well, they didn't need to spike that ball. He went out of bounds.
Right.
Yeah,
they didn't need to do that. Wow. That's a mistake.
And then I think maybe we got a false start against Bishop Manogue. Boy, that was not a very good series for the Miners right there.
Boy, time management is something that is so important in football. and it eludes so many teams. They panic when they need to not panic. Now let's see what's going on.
Well, the official's still talking about this. I think there's a penalty. Manogue is up at the line of scrimmage at midfield.
And what is he doing? 44 seconds?
Huh. Umpire standing over the ball like he wants to. No, he doesn't have the ball. So, yeah, no, they're just going to leave it right there.
And it's first down.
Okay, so here's man. Going to throw. In the seam, there's Thomas again. He'll have the first down. Tries to do his best Bronwyn Rios impersonation to spin out of a tackle. Manogue's got to get up and spike it here. They'll stop the clock to move the chains, and then they will spike it. Now, that one they needed to spike because Thomas did not get out of bounds, and that'll bring up a second down and 10.
Now, the chains weren't exactly moving too fast, were they? That one, they weren't set yet.
They weren't by the time they spiked it. So 34-yard line is where Bishop Manogue sits, trying to tie this game up going into the locker room.
Now, Manogue's kicker, Kyle Nelson, has a big leg. He's not necessarily as accurate as you would like on field goals. It's been an adventure over the past couple of years, but he's capable.
Been pretty good this year, 4 of 5. Here's a throw over the middle, big.
There's a flag, and it needs to be there.
Yeah, I was going to say big coverage, but coverage as in hanging on the receiver. That was Thomas again.
That's one way to cover Joey Thomas, isn't it? Let's see if we get a look at it here on the America First Credit Union replay. There's the throw, and yeah, he's hanging on him, holding him around the hip and then circling. And 2 officials got it. Actually, 3, I think, did. We had a side judge. We had the back judge, Troy Morris. We have a flag in the backfield. Did they get Manogue for a hold?
Going to have the old offsetting penalties here. Play it over again.
Well, the good news for Reed is that they don't put time back on the clock. So this always is worthy of a discussion by the officials to make sure they get things right.
We've got a couple of more weeks left in the regular season. We will be at Bishop Manogue next Friday night for the big showdown, Spanish Springs at Bishop Manogue. And Spanish Springs has got the train rolling this year, Chris. They were up big against Douglas in the first half and at halftime.
Well, and don't forget, they're the team that took Reed to the woodshed and beat them 49-15. And that's not the Reed team we've seen in our years here.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Last week of the season on Halloween night, we are going to be at Spanish Springs High School. We got 2 penalties. We thought that one was against Manogue, but I'm not going to throw you into that mix. I'm sorry.
It was a pass.
I said that it would be offsetting. There was a pass interference. The other penalty was roughing the passer, personal foul. That'll get you 15 yards and a first down.
Well, Manogue is now in field goal range, and they're also going to have a chance on a first down and 10, and they're going to get the sticks settled now. So they're at the 18-yard line, and boy, man has been on, and Joey Thomas has been almost impossible to cover. There's room for drama here at the end of the second quarter.
Thomas splits out wide to the left. Man trying to throw underneath, gets it to Magruder. Magruder is tackled down inside the 15-yard line.
And that will cause Manogue to take their last time out.
So if you're going to throw the ball, you got to throw it to the outside. Here's the underneath to Magruder here. They kind of clear out. You see they let the defense come in a hurry, and that's designed as Rivero comes in from the back to help on the tackle.
Now the middle of the field only in the end zone is open, really. The rest of it has to be, as you alluded to, on the sidelines.
I don't think with just 17 seconds left that if you throw over the middle, you can get up in time to spike the ball. That's asking a lot.
That's asking a lot, and I just think you need to acknowledge. But you have this wide side of the field, and you have talented receivers. You just not only Thomas, but also Nate Simmons. And don't forget, your tight ends had a big reception.
Yeah, Eli Peterson had a big catch in this game.
So there's a lot Manogue can do, and they've actually been looking pretty good the last couple of drives on offense. And so we'll have to see what Ernie Howard and his crew come up with. Reed needs a big play from Thunder and Lightning as linebackers, don't they?
Absolutely.
But, the Reed defensive backs, we saw them earlier in the year against McQueen. They struggled in covering. And Manogue is kind of exposed a little bit of that. Not a lot, but we'll see what happens here. Short side of the field at the top of your screen, wide side all the way down over here, bottom left.
2nd and 6 for the Miners. Again, they're inside the 15-yard line of the Reed Raiders. Looking for a game-tying score. Man in the pocket. Throws. It's caught right at the goal line. Touchdown, Manogue. As Amir Magruder holds on after a big hit, and he's just inside the goal line. We're a PAT away from being tied.
Wow, what a drive by Bishop Manogue. This drive is all at like 88 yards. They were down at the 12-yard line, I think, when they got it. And boy,
that was right inside the goal line. I mean, that was as close as you could be to keeping him from getting in the end zone, but he was there. Amir Magruder with the touchdown catch.
All-important extra point to bring the Miners within, well, actually tie the ball game there.
And Kyle Nelson remains perfect on the year in the PAT department. That's his 4th tonight, Chris, and he is 24 of 24. You see Magruder sneak out of the backfield, get in that little slot, and oh my goodness. I'm going to tell you right now, if this was the NFL, they'd be looking at that for 10 minutes.
Pylon cam.
Yeah, pylon side view cam. That was so close to not being in the end zone. I mean, where he caught it, his foot came down in the end zone, but did the body get in the end zone?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
only
it doesn't
the
matter.
ball.
Only, well, right, but that was close.
It was close.
Yeah.
Now, that's 3 touchdowns in this quarter for Bishop Manogue. 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions for Reed in this second quarter.
Do I dare tell you that we went to the locker room last year tied at 28?
You dare tell me. Unless, now wait a minute, there's 12 seconds left. Who's returning this kick?
Let's see if Nelson can put one in the end zone, which he's done a couple of times here in this half. There's the boot. It'll be returnable. Boy, if you would have run this one back, Chris, I was going to tell you to go buy me some lottery tickets tonight. He'll make it to the 21, and that'll leave just over 5 seconds left, 5.6 officially. Remember, we can't end the half on a defensive penalty, Chris, so do you just chuck one down the field and hope you get a defensive penalty? Although you'd have to throw it way downfield, almost like a Hail Mary, to try to get yourself in a position to get a quick pass out of bounds and try to kick a field goal. That's just maybe wishful thinking on my part.
It's really beyond the realm for, they don't have the 60-yard field goal kickers in high school like they do in the NFL.
I-backs behind Dayton. Handoff on an end around. Drug down in the backfield, and that'll do it for the final play of the first half. Jesse Douglas was the ball carrier. He was the wide receiver lined up out wide right. He headed left, got the ball, and was drugged down for a loss. Chris, 28-28 at halftime. What do you think about this ball game?
Well, it's kind of what we should have expected. You always, not a lot. Great players making great plays, and defenses being exposed. I think both teams are better offensive teams than they are defensive teams, and the scoreboard reflects it. And we have an update. Elko 31, Fallon 21, 7:26 remaining in the game.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Is that going to throw a wrench in Churchill County's plans to be undefeated on the year if they can't come back from a 10-point deficit? Here's the kick by Nelson, and he will have this one taken at about the 2-yard line. Up the middle with some running room.
And a flag back at the 18-yard line.
Kilatambo and KO with the carry on the return.
What is a kicking play, punt, or kickoff without a flag, huh?
Everywhere. Everyone, I mean.
Every level.
If you took a percentage of there being a penalty on a kick or a punt return, I'm just completely guessing here.
High 30s?
I would think it would be higher than that.
Really?
I would
Okay.
think it'd be higher than that there's a penalty on that play. And it's going to go against Reed, and that's going to back them way back to their own 10-yard line.
And this gives nervous time to remember. They were pointing towards this. Hey, we declined winning the coin toss so we could get the third quarter kick, and now you got 90 yards to go till you can score. So
Well, you got one guy that could do it on one carry, though, too.
yes, you do. So Spanish Springs is way up on Douglas. It's either 35-0 or 35-7 in the third. We're not sure. Damani and Galena. Damani up 21-0 at halftime.
We will see Spanish Springs next week on our broadcast as Rios is drugged down after a couple of yard gain by Marley Spuler, little middle linebacker.
Spuler in there, also in on the tackle for Bishop Manogue. Big number 44. That's Zeke Peterson. You're going to need two guys minimum to bring Braun Rios down at the line of scrimmage.
Yep, and I also think Spencer Schmidt was in and around that tackle. Does a good job of coming up from that rover position to fill holes and gaps.
But Rios is so strong, and he cuts on a dime, so
Yeah.
you really have to keep your assignment. Don't let him cut against the defense, or else he's going to be going and running all night long.
A little bit of a bobbled snap as Dayton throws out in the flat. It is complete. And the first down gained by Jesse Douglas.
You're right. There appeared to be a little bit of a bobble and looked like there might have been movement on the line. It was an awkward-looking play. Turns out good.
Yeah.
Very well for Reed there. Gained that 14 yards on a couple of plays, and now they're in pretty good field position.
I mentioned that Rios came in tied for the team lead in catches this year. That's the guy he was tied with, Jesse Douglas, who made that catch. Here's a handoff to Rios. He will fall forward for a 4 or 5 yard gain, make that a 4-yard gain.
Now with Manogue concentrating on stopping Rios, you got a feeling it's going to leave something else open on play action, right? So we'll have to see.
That was one of the keys last week. The time. Remember one of the keys for one of the teams was timely play action?
Yes.
It was always timely for them, though, Chris, because all they did was run the ball, that being Carson and Douglas. So timely play action was certainly a key. These two teams can throw it at any given point in time. So I'm not sure that timely play action would be the correct term to use for either of these two squads. 2nd and 6. Here's Rios following blockers up through the hole. He's got 3 guys holding on to him, and he's going to take him downfield for a first down.
There are some yards after contact here, aren't they? Was he hit at the line of scrimmage? And
yeah.
And he carries the whole pile for 8 yards.
That's a champion Chevrolet first down for Bronwyn Rios. Look at this. 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys hold on. See, as a head coach, you show that film in the film session and say, this is why you keep your legs churning, because he would have been 2 yards short of a first down if he had just kind of given up.
And look where Reed is after starting out at the 10-yard line. Ooh, and a penalty on the left tackle.
You jinxed them.
It's my fault.
You were just going to sing their praises, and they false started on you.
Boy, we've been doing a lot of games at Reed over the years. It's always a great atmosphere, and it's always fun games here at Reed.
Left tackle pulled up early.
Boy, and look
Cole
at
Cronin.
the guilty finger of
Cronin goes, he's right there. I just saw him move.
I've done that on offense. He did it. He did it.
Exactly. Cole Cronin, a Boise State commit, by the way.
You don't want to play behind the sticks too often. Manogue's going to get after it on defense here. Oh, boy.
Here's Rios. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did you see that happen? Who was that defender that just
Amir
got
Magruder.
trucked?
Amir Magruder got
The
trucked.
2 number 1 running backs in this game just met helmet to helmet, and Bronwyn Rios won the battle. Watch him lower his head. I'm going to go right over the top of you.
And Magruder got low. He's supposed to get that low, but Rios is he gets better with each carry, doesn't he?
I think Jeff Choate knows what he's got coming his way next year, head coach at Nevada.
I hope so, because this kid knows how to compete. He doesn't back down from anyone. You look at this, they're chewing up about 1/3 of the third quarter already on a nice drive starting at their own 10.
There was a phrase that was developed at the University of Nevada the years I spent up there as their engineer, Nevada back. Bronwyn Rios, I don't want to give him that title right now, but he gets a couple of years of college under his belt. He's going to be a Nevada back at the University of Nevada.
Yes, it's going to be interesting, and he's already got that big, tough body with speed and strength. This is a big play, 3rd and 5. If Manogue can stop him cold here and force a punt, it's advantage Miners.
Here's the snap to Dayton. He'll throw over the middle, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted.
Wow. That was a wide. The receiver looked like he was open, and we heard a comment here in the press box like was he even looking for the ball? Let's take a look at the receiver's head. Lower part of the screen. Is that a good throw? Ooh, could have led him a little bit. Almost intercepted. Remember we talked about the possibility of a Miner turnover?
And we got whistles before the kick is off by Max Fuentes. It's a false start on Reed. That'll back him up 5 more.
That may be good news for Reed because that Max Fuentes kick wasn't a very good one.
No. Kind of does that soccer style, or what do they call it?
Rugby.
A rugby kick. Yeah, not soccer style, but a rugby kick.
Nil.
It's nil. No, I think they use 0 in rugby.
Yeah,
it's nil in soccer.
Yeah.
I love watching rugby, by the way. What a fun sport to watch. There's a low liner, going to try to kick it away from Simmons. He'll take it on a second bounce and luckily holds on. That'll get us to a break with 7:28 left in the third. We're still tied at 28. You're watching. Watch this. Watch this. He's going to say, I'll take it. I'll take it. Boy, he was lucky to hold on to it right here. Oh, close. We'll be back after this, all tied at 28. You're watching Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. Well, Chris, by 2026, IBEW Local 401 needs over 1,000 well-trained electricians at IBEW Local 401. They've got the jobs. After this play, we're going to share with you the IBEW electrifying play of the game. Here's a handoff over the right side. That's the backup running back, Evan Escovedo. And now we can show you the IBEW electrifying play of the game. And this was a turnover in the first half after a catch out of the backfield by Brendan Wild. He's stuck on the sidelines, coughs it up, picked up by Josh Guerra. He will take it down the sidelines. Looked like he was going to get to the end zone. Eventually caught and run down. There's the pickup by Guerra and the scoop, and almost score for Reed. But they would eventually get into the end zone right here on a handoff to Chasen Rivero. And that is your IBEW electrifying play of the game.
So Manogue taking their time here, getting this play off after the Escovedo run. 2nd down and 7 for Bishop Manogue. Remember, Brandon Mann's been running the ball more.
Escovedo, lone man in the backfield, will get the call again. He'll have the first down as he busts through the line of scrimmage, gets all the way out across the 45-yard line to the 47.
You know, one thing we've learned from watching Ernie Howard at Reed and now at Bishop Manogue, his third quarter adjustments are some of the best that you'll ever see. Great halftime coach, makes adjustments, implements them through his assistants. Manogue has decided maybe they're going to attack that Reed defensive front and try to tire him out a little bit.
Escovedo, 14-yard tote down the right side. This is Escovedo again, going to try the right side. He'll be corralled from behind, but not before he picks up 3 or 4 yards.
So what do you do when you keep running the rock and running the clock? You keep who off the field?
You keep Bronwyn Rios off the field. See, I don't consider myself a really smart man, but I'm smart enough to figure that out. Rios tonight, 167 yards as Mann's going to throw quickly out to J.T. Thomas. He'll have the first down before he's bumped out of bounds by Guerra, guy who you just saw in our electrifying play of the game. But another Champion Chevrolet first down here in the third quarter.
We have a score update from Fallon. It's getting tight. Elko 31, Fallon 28, 3:52 remaining Fallon just scored, so they're going to have to get a defensive stop.
Oh, boy. We might have to check in with Randy Ridgway, our roving reporter in Elko tonight shortly. Man takes the shotgun snap, looking, and that's going to be intentional grounding. That's got to be intentional grounding, does it not?
Oh, it has to be.
We haven't seen a flag yet. There was no receivers out here. It doesn't make any difference if he threw it forward. There wasn't a receiver within 30 yards of that.
Now, let's see. Are they coming in to talk? They should talk about that one. That needs to be a loss of down.
Let's take a look at it here on our America First replay. All the receivers are downfield. Escobedo's right next to him, but he's not trying to throw him the ball.
No, that definitely has to be a penalty and a loss of down. If it isn't, then Reed did not catch a break, and that's what we're going to get on the call.
There's intentional grounding.
Now, you need to just take the sack there. You just made things worse. You lost it down, and you gave a penalty.
Right.
And there goes your momentum.
That's right.
So, and look how far back they're going to be. It's first in what?
First in Spanish Springs High School.
Yeah, it's a zip code away.
That's where they got to get to for a first down.
We're at 89436. I think you have to go to 89434 to get the first down.
I think it's 24 yards for a first down. Man will throw. Up the seam, incomplete. Eli Peterson was the intended receiver.
Targeting.
And we've got a flag coming in from behind. And, boy, that was a massive hit on Peterson. He was unable to hold on to the pass, but this might be an automatic first down for Bishop Manogue if it's deemed intentional targeting. Here's the pass.
Helmet to head, is it? Oh, no.
Maybe a defenseless receiver. I mean, that's in the rule book as well.
Yes, it is.
Personal foul. Yeah, it's going to go against Reed.
Now, will this be a first down? It will not be.
Nope.
So it's going to be second down and looks like 9. Second and 9.
Let's take another look at this.
Now,
I'm guessing just defenseless receiver is why they call this. I don't know that he didn't lead with his helmet. He got him with the shoulder.
And every rule book has safety rules peculiar to them, and high school has to be safer than most, and that's probably what you've got.
Yep. So second and 9, not an automatic first down. It was
timeout Reed.
We'll keep it right here. That'll give us a reminder, or give us a chance to remind you that if you would like to order a copy of this game, Chris, we can get you a copy. This is turning into a classic right now, 28-28 with 6:13 left in the third. If you'd like to order a copy of this game, it's really simple. You just email me, and the address is don@ddsp.tv. Again, don@ddsp.tv. Give me your name. I'll get in contact with you. Each copy you order, and who knows, you might want to get a copy for everyone in the family. Each copy will cost you $30. Great gift for Christmas. I almost said Halloween. Great gift for Christmas this year. Get a copy of this one. Don@ddsp.tv, just $30 a copy.
We have some finals in. Reno over Hug, 50-7. No, 50-0. That's what I have. I'll double check that. And we have a final. It's 42-0 final. Spanish Springs over Douglas. And the Reno Hug game was 50-0. McQueen up 34-7 over Carson, so they're cruising there. Elko still up over Fallon, 31-28. Less than 4 minutes remaining in the game. Fernley was way up on Lowry at halftime, 33-0. And did I say Damani was up in the fourth quarter, 27-0 over Galena. It's been a long year for the Grizzlies.
And we're going to see them on October 31st on Halloween night.
It's a final in Elko. Elko 31, Fallon 28.
All right, I'm going to have our crew get a hold of our roving reporter, Randy Ridgway, out in Elko, and he can give us a final report on the game. But Elko has pulled off they probably don't consider it an upset, Chris, because Elko's been very good at football for many, many years.
Everybody else considers it
it as an upset. But Elko defeats Churchill County tonight, 31-28. Most points that Churchill County has given up in a game this year. Elko gets it done, and now both those teams with a loss, Chris, and Elko will have the tiebreaker because they just beat Churchill County if it comes down to both those teams having one loss.
So they may have to go to Elko and play again, and guess what? It is not warm in Elko in November.
Okay, after this play, 2nd and 9, we're going to check in with Randy out at Elko on the game that just went final. Brandon Mann throws to the outside, pass caught, out of bounds goes Simmons, and we head for Elko and Randy Ridgway. Randy, you got to be a pretty happy man right now. Randy? Well, I guess we don't have Randy ready and available.
3rd down and a long 4 for Bishop Manogue.
Mann takes the snap, hands off to Escovedo. He's got the first down as he busts it up to the middle of the line of scrimmage. Nice gain for the Miners, and check with our director to see maybe if we've got Randy on the line to talk about that game. We will check in, I think, with Randy after this play. 1st and 10, Bishop Manogue. They've got it at the 20-yard line, 21-yard line of the Reed Raiders, looking for a go-ahead score here in the 3rd quarter. Mann will throw outside to J.T. Thomas. He will have another 7-8 yards and be close to a first down. And let's check in with Randy. Randy, are you with us now?
Yeah, you got me now. I'm here.
All right, 31-28 final, we've been told.
Yes, that is correct. Fallon really made a comeback on it. Had a great drive in the 4th quarter, and then basically tried an onside kick. Elko got it back and ran the clock out for the end of the game.
Fantastic. Hold on a second, Randy, as we get to this play for Bishop Manogue on a second, or make it a 3rd and short, and I think they're going to have the first down. So 31-28. What's the atmosphere like out there right now?
Oh, there's excitement. The town is just thriving with excitement right now. They're happy. The team was just ecstatic as they left the field.
All right, Randy. I want to thank you for joining us and being our roving reporter in Elko. Great job tonight. And
we'll see him in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you in about 3 weeks, Randy.
All righty. Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right. Randy Ridgway out at Elko tonight. 31-28 final. Elko beats Churchill County. Here's a handoff to Escovedo. Sidestepping a couple of tacklers. He'll get down inside the 10-yard line to about the 6, maybe 5-yard line.
You know, Manogue's offensive line, they're in the Farmers' red zone right now. They're getting some really big holes on that right side. And don't forget, Manogue has a backup right guard, Trey McKinney, in there. They're not afraid to run on his side of the football, and there's some big holes being built for, guess who, number 20, Evan Escovedo. We didn't expect to call his name this much tonight, did we?
Nope. Getting the job done. 88 yards on 9 carries. He's their leading ball carrier tonight, and the flag will fly before the snap. And it will be, I think it's against Manogue.
No,
offsides against Reed.
Wow. This has not been a good drive for Reed's defense. They really have not had an answer for what Manogue is doing. And that clock keeps winding. Down inside 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
They're going to mark it at the 2. 2nd and goal from the 2. Mann to Escovedo, but we've got
offsides against.
Somebody's lining up in the neutral zone here, and they need to get their helmet out of the neutral zone because that'll put it down, I believe, to the 1-yard line. It's Escovedo in the backfield behind Mann, probably going to get the ball. And he does. And he'll walk into the end zone virtually untouched. Bishop Manogue will take the lead with 3:37 left here in the 3rd.
Well, that was methodical, and it was done with both pass and run. Escovedo having a big night, has a big hole, gets touched a little bit. 1-yard run. Miners take the lead.
And we've got a false start against Bishop Manogue.
So that's not going to...
Did that wipe it out? Good golly. Oh, we had back-to-back offside. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone, and then Bishop Manogue goes into the end zone and ends up getting pushed back 5 yards. Ernie Howard is out on the field.
Let's see what happens here. Well, There wasn't anything there. Must have been on a wide receiver.
That and maybe an illegal formation? I didn't see that either.
Well, Ernie's still out there debating a point.
Yep. So that'll push him back outside the 5 to the 6-yard line. Whatever they told Ernie, he wasn't all too happy, which I wouldn't suspect he would because they're not going to overturn that penalty.
Reed's starting to pile up those penalty yards. I think they're up nearly almost 70 yards in penalties.
68 to be exact.
Okay, so now it's 2nd and goal from the 6.
Here's a handoff to Escovedo right side, and he's hog-tied and taken down to bring up a 3rd down. Maybe a yard as Cesara's middle linebacker makes the tackle.
Boy, you took 6 points off the board. That is rough. And now Brandon Mann is yet to run it on this drive, and there's the wide side of the field to the left. I like it that the high school still have the wider hash marks.
Yeah.
Creates opportunities. I think pro ball would be well served by doing that. But
so 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Mann wants to throw, now flushed right, looking in the end zone. He'll chuck it deep into the end zone over the head of the intended receiver. That was the tight end, Eli Peterson. And Manogue will send the field goal kicker, Kyle Nelson, onto the field to try to give them a lead here in the 3rd quarter.
Reed gets a great push from their defensive front. They kind of crush through the guard center gaps, and they kind of collapse the pocket from the middle, which is always bad news for the passer. And now you have Nelson trying, looks like a 24-yard field goal from the right hash mark. Not the easiest kick for a kicker. He'd much rather be in the middle.
This is Kyle Nelson. Good snap, holds down, kick on the way. Line drive is good. And with 2:36, make that 2:38 left in the 3rd, the Miners have grabbed a 31-28 lead. We'll be back to Reed High School after this. You're watching Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. Time today to look at who's heating up in tonight's game, brought to you by Nevada Heating. Nevada Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Fireplace, serving our area for over 50 years, and there you see him on screen, Chris. We're going to tell you who's heating up. We call him the backup running back from Manogue, but he's had a nice 3rd quarter.
Yeah, he's had 88 yards in the game, 1 touchdown. Evan Escovedo wears jersey number 20 for the Bishop Manogue Miners. He's having a night, and he's also playing special teams. He's down here at the bottom of the kickoff formation.
Nelson will put his foot into it. Line drive kick that's taken on the fly by Reed. Up the middle, now out to the left. Down the left sideline, just the kicker to beat, and Nelson will get him out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, but way back upfield in Reed territory, there are 2 flags on the field.
And those are going to go against the Reed Raiders, and that'll take away a momentum-grabbing play by the kickoff folks. Manogue, take a look down here at the bottom of the screen. What are you going to have here?
Right there.
Right there. It's a takedown.
That's a tackle.
If it was wrestling, it'd be worth how many points?
You beat me to the punch. Now, there's 3 flags on the field, 2 where that holding took place, and then there's one out in the middle of the field at about the 45-yard line.
Well, and if they're offsetting, then you'd kick it all over again, right?
And I'm going to tell you, Reed is hoping they're offsetting.
Yeah, they have to be. Here we go. We're going to get a look from the official.
There's the hold against Reed. That one's declined. And then a hold against Reed. I guess the first one was the hold at midfield because they're going to take the hold from the one way back here at about the 29-yard line. That'll back them up inside the 20.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 13. That's a rough break for Reed.
After about a 75-yard return by Kelatambo and Ko.
Boy, the replay does not lie, though.
No.
It was a heck of a takedown.
And you're right. It was. It was a flat takedown. In wrestling, you're right. I think you get 2 points for that, Chris.
2-point takedown.
2-point takedown.
You know, they're still – it's now trailing. This is a big gut check for the Reed offense. They've got that tight running formation ready to go.
Dax Dayton up under center, will turn, hand to Rios. And good defense right at the initial line of attack, and that's going to be Spencer Schmidt, that rover that came up and filled that gap.
Yeah, Spencer Schmidt made the tackle with help from Caden Evans. No gain on the play, essentially.
Both sidelines and stands for both rooting sections are filled here tonight at Reed High School.
In perfect football weather for mid-October.
Couldn't agree more. Split backs on each side of Dayton. He will hand off to Rios, breaks that arm tackle, breaks a second arm tackle, and rumbles up the right sideline for a Reed first down.
He goes driven out at the 33-yard line. What a joy to watch. Let's see his numbers now. Rios, 15 carries, 167 yards. 11 yards per carry. Take a look at this.
I think that's going up. I think that was before that carry.
Right, and great job of blocking, of sealing things off.
Let's back up. That's Rivero. That is not
Chason.
Yeah, that was not Rios. Sorry, Chason.
Yeah.
Giving all those yards to your Thunder running.
And there's Chason with that run.
Chason with that run.
Yeah,
So,
Thunder and Lightning.
so he was the one rumbling up the right sidelines on the previous carry, and that carry there. Rios is your lead back blocker. There's the spin. Who do you think he learned that from? Well, he just trucked right over the top of Nate Simmons as well. A couple of DBs in Bishop Manogue's defensive backfield that are going to think twice about trying to go down and tackle either Rivero or Rios low. That's what you're taught to do, but these guys are running right over the top of the defenders. Here's a pass down the right sidelines. It is caught. First down Reed as Jaden Purdom hauls it in.
And what was one of the keys for the Reed offense? Execute and make sure once in a while you can get a little bit of play action. They did it on that play. Beautifully done.
Amir Magruder was downfield, but he actually ran by Simmons to get open.
Hey, remember this drive started inside the 15.
Rios will barrel his way inside the 25-yard line.
You know, it's not like Manogue is not used to playing in games like this. They've won 4 out of the last 5. Or no, Manogue has won 3 in a row. But they give up a lot of points in those victories. I mean, they defeated Douglas. It was 48-46. They give up 46 points to Douglas. So Manogue's defense has been bend, break periodically, but eventually they find a way to win. They've got a tough thing going tonight at Reed.
Here's a handoff to Rios. He's stacked up in the initial line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1, maybe 2. You were talking about scores, 48-46 2 weeks ago. Bishop Manogue beat Douglas. You wonder if Douglas and Carson kind of had a hangover, and I'm talking figuratively, not literally, coming into this week, because neither one really put on much of a show tonight after that epic 21-14 overtime win by Carson last week.
And a rivalry game. And Douglas has had two big losses in a row. Now they have a third, having lost to Spanish Springs tonight by a score of 42-0.
That's going to do it for the third quarter. The clock runs out. We'll take a timeout. We go to the fourth. Bishop Manogue on top by a field goal, 31-28. You're watching Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. We're back at Reed High School where the Raiders have a 3rd and 8. Sitting at the 23-yard line of the Bishop Manogue Miners. Miners leading heading into the fourth quarter, 31-28. Here's a handoff. Open space down the right sidelines. A dive for the end zone. Did he get there? Yes! Jason Rivero with his 3rd touchdown of the night will give the Raiders the lead.
25 yards, I think? 23 yards.
23-yard touchdown run for Rivero. Boy, he just picked his way through that hole and just kept the legs moving.
Well, when you're not going to give it to Rios and you give it to Rivero, Manogue's finding out what everybody else knows. Reed has a 1-2 punch. What, Thunder and Lightning, isn't that what I said?
Thunder and Lightning. Keone Blas downfield, unable to make the tackle. Here's the PAT attempt by Fuentes, and it's blocked. So we will stay at 34-31. That will give us a chance to remind you that our ball game tonight brought to you by Big O Tires. With Big O's low price guarantee, You'll drive away knowing that you got the best deal on the road. Broadcast also brought to you by Famous Dave's Legendary Barbecue, where you can enjoy a $35 feast every Tuesday on Tuesday. Hope you caught that. Famous Dave's Legendary Barbecue, 4925 Kitski Lane in Reno. And I do have to say, tonight's dinner was delish.
I was a little cranky before you fed me, so take a look. Here's the block. Manogue gets penetration and get a hand up. Who is the big fella?
Well,
right
I'm going to say it's probably either Max
Cole
Zero
Cronin
or Cole Cronin. I'm going to give you one of those two. Cronin's 6'6", as is Max Zero.
Yeah, it was
So
Cole Cronin who got his
Cronin
hand
got the
up,
block.
and he blew up the blocker.
So we got a 3-point game here
Yes, we
after
do.
that missed PAT.
And Reed has had nothing but problems with point after touchdowns when trying to kick. That could come back to haunt them. They've also used a timeout. So Reed only has 2 timeouts left. Manogue has all 3 of theirs with all of everything but 8 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter.
After this return, we'll head down to Michael Reeves. It's taken inside the goal line, and they're going to let him come out. That's Nate Simmons. He's pushed out of bounds about the 20-yard line. With that play, let's head down to the sidelines and visit with Michael Reeves. Michael?
You know, Don, I have an interesting fact about this game. Outside of the backup quarterbacks for the Bishop Manogue Miners, what if I told you there were 5 quarterbacks that Ernie Howren had prints on in this game? He has Logan Howren, who's an assistant coach for him, Matt and Chris Den, Reed quarterbacks that are now assistant coaches for him, and then Cam Emerson on top of Brandon Mann, his quarterback he has for Bishop Manogue. Cam Emerson, now the offensive coordinator for Reed, he has said, I was nervous playing Ernie Howren the first couple of times, but once I beat him, I realized I love playing this coach every time I get the opportunity.
I tell you like to take the best down, don't you, Chris?
Oh, you do.
Escovedo on the carry again. He's become the primary back here in the second half. He was the Who's Heating Up recipient tonight, handed out by Chris Healy, and he has done a nice job. He's up to 95 yards, Chris.
Well, the Bishop Manogue's going to have to put together a drive. They'd like to do it on the ground, chew up clock, and go ahead.
Quick pass over the middle. Receiver breaks the tackle. That's Simmons down the left sidelines. Can he outrun the defense? He can. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Bishop Manogue.
65-yard touchdown pass. The Miners take the lead. Wow. Did not expect that, but boy, Simmons looks like he should be on the track team with that burst of speed.
He just ran away from the secondary. I mean, once he broke that line between the safety and cornerback, he was off to the races.
Remember when we had the game versus McQueen, Reed gave up big plays in the secondary. They did it again tonight. This is a big extra point.
It's up and it's good. You don't expect – that's 5 tonight, PATs for Kyle Nelson, and that makes him 25 of 25 on the year.
Wow.
So that'll put the Miners back on top by 4. Back and forth we go. We talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast, Chris.
You going to need 50?
Well, yeah, that too. That to start the second half, you mentioned that. But the way it looks and the way that Spanish Springs has got it rolling, if they're able to take down Bishop Manogue next week at Bishop Manogue, and that's the game we're going to have here on Nevada Sportsnet, this game is virtually a game that will determine who hosts an opening round playoff game
Against the other.
Probably, yeah, absolutely, yeah. If Bishop Manogue holds on here, and I'm not counting Bishop Manogue out of next week, Chris. It's going to be a huge showdown. But Spanish Springs hasn't shown any relief for any team in Northern Nevada this year. They moved to 8-0 tonight, and they trounced Douglas.
Yeah, and it was Douglas did not score. The final was 42-0. They had a touchdown that was called back on a penalty.
Well, Nelson will kick.
Now Nelson tonight has not kicked out of the end zone like he usually does. But that's
Put his
a
foot
good
into
one
that
right
one,
there.
and that, well, there you go. Just ask and you shall receive. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
Do I dare mention the Mariners are headed to Toronto with a chance to go to the World Series with winning at least one of two in Toronto?
Well, yes, if you say it like that, you may.
Yes.
If you're popping off.
No, I'm not. I'm stating the facts here.
Okay.
Big win tonight. Gino Suarez, grand slam in the 8th inning. Seattle pulls one out, 6-2 over Toronto, and they're headed back to the Rogers Center.
They literally caused an earthquake up there, right? According to...
They have seismic measures. It's kind of like when, Beast Mode. Why can't I think of his name?
We have a final from McQueen, 34-7, McQueen over Carson.
Oh, here's a handoff to Rios. Boy, how did he get out of that initial tackle?
Well, because they tackled him high.
Because he's Bronwyn Rios.
Yeah, that's right.
Bronwyn Rios. Marshawn Lynch had a run in Seattle that caused earthquake-sized measures against New Orleans one year. And
I remember that one.
when Suarez hit that home run tonight at T-Mobile Park, apparently
8 yards on that carry. He's just amazing.
Rios, 169 yards. I think we got to update that one. I think he's over 170.
8 yards on that carry, and most of it after contact.
Correct. He'll give it another try. Left side. A step away. Thomas, I'm just going to say it. Thomas saved a touchdown right there.
And I think Cole Cronin just got held, and they called it on Reed. And wow, the penalty yards are really piling up against Reed. This is going to put him over 80 yards in penalties.
It is. They're already over 80. That'll back him up. See, and that's what's discouraging for Reed and unfortunate for Reed is you really don't need a hold on that play.
No.
I mean, it's not like you're trying to protect the quarterback.
Well, and Cole Cronin is such a handful as a defender. You see number 77 for Bishop Manogue right there in the middle of your screen. He was the guy who was held in the backfield. So
that'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 now for the Raiders, trailing by 4 with just over 10 minutes to play in this contest. Dayton rolls out right, being tracked by Peterson, and his pass is well underthrown, intended for Jesse Douglas.
Manogue had some pretty good coverage on the outside, but the key point for that was the penetration. The defensive line got into the backfield and forced Dax Dayton to basically throw on the run. No quarterback is real comfortable doing that.
That was Zach Peterson from his left end position, Chris, and you can see why he has 9 sacks this year to lead Bishop Manogue. He has a nose for the quarterback.
3rd and 10. This is rough. 3rd and 12 for the Reed Raiders.
Rios just off to the left of Dayton. He'll bring a receiver in motion. And now everybody is moving, and I think that was that Douglas or Purdom from the outside that was in motion, and he headed upfield before the ball was snapped.
And Reed's left tackle jumped.
Well, they're going backwards here. 63 yards in penalties in this half alone for the Reed Raiders.
Well, I have a prediction. If Reed converts this 3rd and 17, they're going to win the game.
Okay. You heard it here first. And if they do,
No.
you're going to go buy me lottery tickets again, okay?
I will.
Here's a rollout right by Dayton on a 3rd and very long. Pass is complete, but first down yards will not be accessible that time for Reed as the receiver's pushed out of bounds. That's Jesse Douglas on the reception, and that'll bring up a 4th down in a punting situation.
So I don't think this is the kind of place where you run a fake kick, fake punt. I think you're just going to have to kick it and hope your defense can do the job against a Manogue offense that's starting to assert itself with the running game.
Reed had too many men on the field, so one has to come off, and they alertly don't snap the ball before that happens. Here's the kick by Max Fuentes, angling for the sideline. That will go out of bounds, but where? Boy, is that going to be in Reed territory?
They're still figuring it out. Where is it? Oh, boy, that's not a good kick.
Yeah, he got that one off the side of his foot. That one goes out of bounds. Next Friday night, we will be at Bishop Manogue High School. Can we call it the showdown? I mean, should we give it a name?
Well, I don't think...
because this is a showdown here tonight, so I don't want to take away from this game.
We'll come up with a nickname after we know the outcome. But it should Manogue come out victorious here, it's going to be homecoming at Manogue.
Yes,
That'll
is.
be a big deal.
Yep.
But, boy, Spanish Springs and Reed have both been looking to try to beat Manogue for a while now. Could happen soon.
Handoff up the middle. That's going to be Escovedo again. He'll pick his way for a gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Don't forget, Reed has forced a fumble in this game by tackling the football. And you could see them reaching in on Escovedo. So ball security, taking care of that football is going to be very important on this drive for Bishop Manogue.
Mann will take the snap, straight drop, throw up the left side. He's got a receiver streaking beyond the defense, caught, and into the end zone goes J.T. Thomas. Touchdown, Bishop Manogue.
That's good for 40 yards. Wow. Well, the Manogue is looking forward to getting J.T. Thomas back because then suddenly you just couldn't cover everybody, and he is wide open down the sideline.
If we can get a look at that from the up camera, Chris, I want you to see this throw because Mann lets it go before Thomas actually runs by the defensive back. Watch. Well, we'll do it after we come back. We're going to take a break after this, and then we'll come back. Here's the extra point try by Nelson. It is up, and it is good. We'll take a timeout. With 9:18 left here in the third, Bishop Manogue has gone out on top, 45-34. You're watching Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. Chris, let's take a look at tonight's school bus stop of the game. Always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Not stopping or trying to beat the stop arm puts lives at risk and can result in large fines, points on your license, and license suspension. This is your school bus stop of the game. That was the big stop early in the game for Reed when they sacked Brandon Mann deep.
And Manogue offensive front early on was not protecting Mann. They are protecting him now. And bad news for Reed. But I'll tell you, that was a beautiful stop. Reed's defense, always tough. Oscar Cesaris on that play.
Total yards in tonight's game between the two teams, 906. 406 for Reed, 500 even for Bishop Manogue. That ball taken on a bounce back near the goal line.
Room to run.
Out around the right side goes Kella Tamboa Keo.
You don't see any of the fans holding up a D with a fence around here. There's no defense being played here.
Okay, question for you then. You're
Yes.
looking at Bishop Manogue. They gave up 46 2 weeks ago. They've given up at a minimum right now 34 tonight. They've got to be a little concerned going in against Spanish Springs next week.
A little concerned.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to be politically correct here.
But Spanish Springs passes the ball more than they run the football. Manogue has had trouble stopping great running backs. We're going to have to see if they're going to have trouble stopping a great offense that throws the ball a lot.
Brandon Mann, 21 of 25 tonight, 334 yards. That's having a night.
Wow.
2 touchdowns. Dayton to throw. The receiver kind of cut his route off short, and then when he saw the throw, that's being Jesse Douglas. Is that Douglas or Purdom? That's Douglas. When he saw the ball out in front of him, he tried to readjust his route and couldn't get there to haul it in.
Boy, Douglas he was open too.
Yeah.
Now, Dax Dayton is going to have to figure out a way to pass the football effectively over the next 9 minutes and 6 seconds of this football game. And if he can, Reed still has that fighting chance.
Yep.
But the Reed defense needs to figure out a way to find a way to stop Brandon Mann on the Miner offense, which has not been done since late second quarter.
Here's Dayton with the carry. He'll get drugged down in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of yards.
Now, who made that play?
I think that was Simmons, wasn't it? Did he come up from his cornerback position and make that play?
Boy, I think so, but let's take a look at this replay if we get a chance to.
That'll be a loss of a yard, a tackle for a loss for the Bishop Manogue Miners.
Yeah, 3rd and 11. That's a rough one for any team that suddenly, they really have to find some way to score points. They're down, by 11. They have got to find a way to get a first down here.
Dayton will bring a receiver in motion left to right. Fake the handoff, throw out in the flat, pass caught, not much running room, and I think the receiver is actually, well, he's going to get pushed out of bounds beyond the 40-yard line, about the 42. That'll leave him about 4 yards short.
And this is a big decision for Garrett Hughes of the Reed Raider coaching staff. Do you have to go for it at this point? You've already used the timeout.
Sean McGuire, by the way, on that catch, Chris. They're going to go for it.
Well, I think they're kind of reading the handwriting on the wall that they have not stopped Manogue on. Yeah, you know, Manogue has 17 points in the second half, and they've been awfully hard to stop. So if they get this, hope springs eternal. If they don't convert, it's going to be a long rest of the fourth quarter.
Here's a handoff to Rios. He will have the first down and a whole lot more.
Unbelievable.
Amir Magruder runs him out of bounds, but not before Rios will go out of bounds inside of Bishop Manogue territory. But is there a flag down on the play?
Sure looks like it. Yes, right at the 50-yard line. I think somebody's going to get nailed with a hold.
That would have to be downfield. Yeah, that's right on the sideline of Reed. So that was a downfield block that resulted in a hold.
And so they're going to march it back from that spot, and so it's probably going to leave Reed with about the same down and distance as they had.
From the outside, right here, Joey Thomas, or JT Thomas, being held.
Yeah, Thomas was being held. It looks like Reed's number 52 there, Raymond Mavaney on the hold. Boy, what a shame. Reed has not done well with penalty yardage now. Where are we at now?
They're up to 93 in the game.
Wow. 103 now.
Oh, excuse me, 103.
And now it's actually longer. It's instead of 4th and 4, it's now 4th and 7.
Yeah, and they're going to have to punt it away and hope their defense can hold.
Boy, it's been a heartbreak, but if you saw that, I mean, there was a big chunk of jersey being held there.
He almost ripped his jersey off. Thomas, yeah. I mean, he was really yanking on it. The blocker was. And
Manogue took a timeout.
They had Simmons back deep.
So, 4th down and 10. I mean, you got to watch for a fake. You do have to.
Sure. Be tough to give it up that deep, though. Well, it's not all that deep in your territory, but the way the Miners have moved the ball this half, they've not had a propensity to stop them this half. So, got to think they're going to move the ball no matter where they get it on the field. You might as well kick it away.
And it's a 2-possession game. So, two-score game. So, it's tough. I mean, Reed had played so well. And remember, when we go back to that, when Manogue found a way to score, Don, with 12 seconds left in the half, remember they scored a TD at the 4:15 mark of the second quarter?
Yep.
And the 12-second mark of the second quarter. At that point, it was 28-14 in favor of the Reed Raiders. Manogue tied it up at half, and they've really kind of been in control since.
Yeah, they haven't looked back. Well, I take that back on the fact that they're going to try to punt it here on a 4th and 7. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7 from their own 38-yard line. Dayton throws incomplete.
He had a man wide open, but Caden Evans stuck his hand in there. And I think the receiver zigged when he was supposed to zag, and that caused the 4th down incompletion.
Let's take a look at this on our America First replay. He held on to it. I think if he'd have thrown it initially, look at how wide open the receiver was. If he'd have let that go on the first time he cocked his arm back, that could have been a touchdown.
Right.
That guy was so wide open down the left sideline.
Now you're going to see a steady diet of Manogue chewing up clock. 1st down and 10 at the 38 of the Reed Raiders.
Escovedo, who's had his biggest night as a running back, will be the lone back behind man.
Is he over the 100-yard mark?
He's right at 100. 100 even. Now he's over 100 as he runs through tacklers and will have about 14 yards and a 1st down.
Wow. They're going to stop the clock to move the sticks, and then Manogue can run about 35, 36 seconds off before they snap it and do it all over again.
Escovedo came in with 64 yards on the entire season. He's now got 114.
Oh, is he going to be tired tomorrow morning? He's going to need another fall break.
He'll get the ball right up the gut again. He'll get inside the 10-yard line down to about the 5. Another big run for Escovedo. And a flag comes in late. Boy, there's some tired defensive linemen for the Reed Raiders, aren't there? They got their hands on their hips.
Yes.
They're trying to find some air.
You're wondering, is this in the area where there might have been a little unsportsmanlike conduct?
Let's find out. See if we got something on film.
Boy, he does not even get touched until they tackle him 14 yards downfield. And what have we got?
I don't see a flag. The flag came in, there it is, very late. So it was something after the play. It's a personal foul against Reed.
Oh, boy.
Personal foul.
Is that running up to 118 yards? Or actually, it's half the distance there. So it's only going to be about a 4-yard penalty, but wow.
If that, yeah. It'll be 1st and goal. We'll officially call it the 3. It's inside the 4, closer to the 3. So we'll go 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
And they wind the clock. So the clock keeps moving. Now, Manogue doesn't have to snap it for 40 seconds. So they can run it all the way down to about 6:45 if they want to. At this point, why stop your momentum? You're starting to really punish Reed.
Here's Magruder. He'll get to the end zone. Touchdown, Amir Magruder on a 3-yard touchdown run.
Is that Magruder's second? I'm not sure. Yes, I think so. No, he had one taken off the board. Yeah, Magruder had a 14-yard pass play.
Yep. Well, if you're Escovedo on the sidelines, are you going up to coach and saying, hey, got us all the way down there and you should take me out?
What am I? Walter Payton. You let refrigerator get that?
I know he's not saying that. I'm joking.
Boy, Manogue has looked good on offense against a tiring defense for the Reed Raiders.
Boy, Kyle Nelson, I don't want to jinx him, but he is automatic with the PATs tonight.
I don't think Kyle wants you to jinx him either.
I know.
What did I tell you? Manogue would need 50 to win this game?
They got 52.
And they needed all of this. Now it looks like a blowout. This has just been a terrific football game, but Manogue is starting to push Reed around a little bit, and I think they're just, Manogue's got, although they're playing a lot of guys both ways too.
Sure. Well, you're going to start to see, I would think, if you're Bishop Manogue, probably going to start seeing the second stringers out there. See if they can hold up against what would be Reed's number 1 offense. It'll be Kyle Nelson kicking off here. We've got 7:02 left in the 4th quarter. We were tied at 28 at halftime, and Bishop Manogue has flexed their muscles here in the second half. And
according to my dismal math, Manogue has outscored Reed 38-6 since the 4:15 mark of the second quarter.
Well, that's flexing your muscles, isn't it?
Yes.
After our next time out, hopefully we will have some people in attendance tonight doing their best milk muscle cam flex. Big hit on the return. And Reed will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25. I tell you, scores around Northern Nevada tonight, not necessarily the Elko Churchill County game, because we knew that was going to be a great one, and it turned out to be a great one. Churchill County losing their first game of the year, dropping a 31-28 decision to Elko tonight, which moves them into a tie with Churchill County. But the rest of the scores, Chris, have shocked me a little bit tonight, that there hasn't been a really close contest here in Northern Nevada.
No, Spanish Springs over Douglas 42-0. Damani over Galena late 4th, 27-6. McQueen took out Carson 34-7. That's the one I think we thought would be closer.
Yep.
Reno over Hug 50-0.
Dayton wants to throw, hit as he releases it. That'll be an incomplete pass.
And Fernley, they won big over Lowry. It was 33-0 at half, and I'm sure it continued in that way.
Fernley's not out of that race now. I mean,
no, they really aren't.
Neither is Truckee. I mean, we talk about the 6 teams that'll go in that 3A playoffs, but there are 4 that now 2 of them have 1 loss, 2 of them have 2 losses.
And North Valley's beat Wooster 47-14.
Wow. Dayton will throw in the pocket. Receiver wide open. Busted coverage as Jesse Douglas gets up the left sideline for a first down.
He gets the first down, stops the clock at 6:41.
Caden Evans eventually runs him out of bounds.
So this is a 3-score ball game, so Reed needs to hurry.
That's a Bradley Drendel and Janae first down. Moved it inside of Bishop Manogue territory. Dayton will roll right this time. Throw out. Pass caught. And the receiver just kind of chucked out of bounds right there. He wanted to get out of bounds, stop clock obviously, but the defender made sure he went out.
But what he did, he made contact before he stepped out of bounds, so they keep the clock moving.
Sean McGuire, the recipient of that pass. So a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. The ball is at the 44-yard line of the Miners. Dayton will throw, gets rid of it. Pass is complete downfield. It looks like Zarate. It is. And the only reason I say that is Julian Zarate kind of stands head and shoulders above the other receivers. He's 6'5".
Yes, and you can see there's a lot of short defensive backs over there, and he towers above all of them. And he was wide open in front of a couple of Miner DBs.
Tackle eventually made by Tony Finau. Here's a handoff. No, a quick pass. I thought he gave it to Rios, but kept a hold of it and threw it downfield. Pass is complete to Purdom.
Well, this is a nice little drive for the Reed Raiders, and they're going to need to have a couple more of these. They're going to have to think about an onside kick at some point. They have 2 timeouts left, each team.
I think we've gone over 1,000 yards combined of offense in this game. Dayton to throw, back of the end zone, incomplete. McGuire was the intended receiver.
You know, Dayton has a nice arm. He went against his body there and still threw a representative pass downfield.
Well, I thought my math was pretty good when I say I think we have 1,000 yards of offense in the game.
Yeah.
Our crack stat crew just told me we have exactly 1,000 yards of offense in this game between the two teams.
No sacks on this play. We want over
That's
1,000.
Right. Dayton, pump fake, now throws deep, looking for Douglas. Does he make the catch? I think he does.
Oh,
yes,
I think
he does.
Wow, he looked like he was out of bounds, so they're going to mark it at the 2. Wow.
That ball was grossly underthrown, and Douglas just turned around and waited for it. Watch this.
Watch the feet. Does he have control? Watch the feet. Watch the feet. Watch the feet. That is a great catch.
It's a phenomenal catch. And I'm going to say even better camera work on that. Here's a handoff and a touchdown for Bronwyn Rios. He will take it in for a Reed score.
Wow. Well, Reed responds. Minute 52 to respond, minute 53.
What a catch by Douglas, and what a great shot down at the field. It doesn't get any better than that. NFL could look at that replay and still know it was a great catch.
Well, and Thomas is maybe one of the best defenders in Northern Nevada, and that was as good a catch as you could possibly have.
Reed's going to go for 2 here.
Which has been their more successful point after touchdown tonight.
They had a PAT blocked tonight. Dayton up over the center. He will hand it, and now we're going to have a throwback or a throw back into the end zone, and it is caught, I think. Yeah, 2-point conversion is good. That'll get Reed to within 10. Let's take a look at this. A handoff to, I think, Douglas. No, that's the touchdown run by Rios. And then the 2-point conversion on the toss was good. And Reed has gotten back to within 10. We'll take a timeout. 52-42 Bishop Manogue. You're watching Friday Night Rivals on Nevada Sportsnet. All right, general consensus in the booth is that we're about to see an onside kick.
And at one point, Manogue had like 13 players on there ready. The hands team was taking it seriously. They now have 11.
13. So let's see if this onside kick, and that one wasn't going to even go 5 yards, let alone 10 yards. It was whistled dead before Fuentes tried to roll that up the sideline here, or over towards the sideline.
I think they hadn't given him permission to even kick it yet, so that's why it was blown dead. No penalty on the play.
Part of the hands team, Otto Giordano, is out here, the lower part of your screen for Bishop Manogue. There's the kick. It's muffed. It's muffed. Did Reed come up with it? No. They're going to say that Manogue was able to corral it.
And did that look like Nate Simmons?
No, it was number 16.
Oh, that's Keone Blass. So,
Well,
wow, and he
almost,
bobbled it.
Yeah, he almost had that go like right between his legs.
Yeah, he looked like a second baseman.
All right, Chris, let's take a look. It's time, our favorite time of the broadcast, time for your Model Dairy Milk Muscle Cam. Look at these guys. Why are they not out on the field?
The future Raiders.
The future Raiders. Start your day the Model Dairy way. Model Dairy's been bringing goodness to Nevada families since 1905. Look for the cow
All right.
and taste the difference. That's how you do a Model Dairy Milk Muscle Cam.
Oh, that man's posed
Yeah,
before.
buddy.
I love it. Cotton candy. I didn't know they had cotton candy.
Sorry, the concession stand is closed. We can't go get you any cotton candy.
We need cotton candy if we come back here this year, you know?
Well done on the Model Dairy Milk Muscle Cam tonight, Truck. Good work. By the way, we haven't officially christened our director making his directorial debut. Matt Kalinowski is behind the chair tonight, and Matt has done a terrific job in tonight's broadcast.
And I'll bet
Hats
you
off.
if we challenge Matt to spell Kalinowski, have a 50% chance of misspelling it. What do you think?
He's done great tonight in his first full-time gig behind the wheel, as you will. Here's Amir Magruder. Boy, he is hammered at the line of scrimmage. Well, that was a big hit.
And who made that hit? He's dancing all around there.
Pinedo's getting up like he was the first to hit him, but a DB came up and stood up Amir Magruder right at the line of scrimmage.
Was that Zayden Knight? Okay, so it's 3rd and 10. And, hey, hope springs eternal. Minogue's going to run a lot of clock off here. They can snap it at about the 4:40 mark.
JT Thomas comes in from the sideline. He's going to the University of Nevada, is he
Yes,
not?
he
I know
is.
his dad is a coach up there.
Yes, he is.
So earlier tonight when Thomas and Rios, one was tackling another, a couple of future teammates for the Wolfpack. 3rd and 10, there's a flag, delay a game. Well, they took too much time.
Well, now are you going to, with Brandon Mann out there who's only 21 of 25 for 334 yards, are you going to have him throw the ball, or are you just going to run and move some clock and then kick it on 4th down? That would be my chosen path. I wouldn't throw an incompletion to stop the clock.
Well, the clock, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm a little conservative on offense.
Here's a handoff to Magruder. There's a flag down. That's going to be in the area of holding. I'm certain that Reed will decline that penalty and force Bishop Manogue to kick here on a 4th and 10.
Yeah, you'd have to do that.
By the way, I mentioned the Mariners score.
Yeah,
Did the Dodgers move into the series?
I've heard that rumor.
Yeah, you heard it. I'm asking the wrong guy, by the way. That was really kind of the only other guy with a headset on wouldn't admit to the Dodgers getting into the World Series. He just tried to stab me with his pen. Yes, the Dodgers.
Yeah, Don. Thanks for that, Don.
It's got me all choked up. Dodgers are in the series. Well, hey, I'm going to tell you this. I think there'd be nothing better than a West Coast World Series. I'm just throwing it out there.
Now,
And all those riders back east would be so upset.
yeah, the people north of the border definitely don't agree with you.
Yeah.
I think we're in for a couple more games in that series.
I'm afraid you're probably right on that. 4th and 10. Kyle Nelson will kick, handle the high snap, get it away, almost have it blocked. That's going to bounce. Reed will let it bounce and roll. It'll get inside the 15-yard line, and that's where Bishop Manogue will down the football with 3:15 left.
Only 2 timeouts left for Reed. They're down by 10, so they have to score and score quickly, and it's a real, almost impossible task, but not totally impossible.
Chris, 2 weeks ago, Bishop Manogue racked up 489 yards of offense against Douglas in that 48-46 win.
Yes.
Tonight, They lead at 52-42. They have racked up 543 yards of offense.
Wow.
So we talk about next week's showdown between Bishop Manogue and Spanish Springs, and this one certainly isn't over here. But everything points towards another 52-48 game next week out of Bishop Manogue.
I wonder if there's a midnight curfew. They're going to be practicing their kickoffs a lot.
Here's a snap and a handoff. Rio's going to throw it upfield, and it's caught. The receiver spins out of a tackle. That's Purdom. He goes up the right sideline. He's going to take it all the way. A halfback pass by Bronwyn Rios results in a touchdown for the Reed Raiders.
I have that good for 86 yards.
87 officially. Holy cow.
Who was it, Rios to Purdom?
Yep.
Well, this one just got interesting again, didn't it?
Amir Magruder missed the tackle, and Purdom just outran the defense.
Wow.
Caden Evans was the closest to him upfield.
Well, this is pretty important kick here. They got to get this extra point. Don't forget the last one they kicked was blocked. And this is blocked.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Was it Cronin again?
It looked like it.
He's running off the field with the high fist pump. Let's take a look. Good snap, good hold.
Oh, he's just slipped right in between the blocks. Well, I'll tell you, that's a huge. Reed's inability to get their extra points and to kick the ball instead of a 3-point field goal game, it's now a 4-point game, gives Manogue a little more leeway.
We saw this a few weeks back when we were at Reno High School. They went to overtime with McQueen. Don't forget that game.
Yes.
They didn't try an extra point, a PAT, to tie it and send it to a second overtime. They tried to go for 2, was tackled in the backfield, lost the game by 1.
We have had 6 touchdowns scored in the fourth quarter. The score in the fourth quarter alone is Manogue 21, Reed Raiders 20. Just in the fourth quarter. Wow.
You were talking about curfews. I got another story for you about a place that has a curfew that makes it very difficult to fly in and out of.
Really?
Yeah. So, Max Fuentes will try another onside kick. Hands team on for Bishop Manogue. Got to recover this and then hold on to the football for 3 minutes. That's going to be a pooch kick. Simmons lets it bounce. Now it is taken by Thomas, and he will kneel down at the 28-yard line. So, if you ever have to fly late, and you'd never get to fly late in or out of San Diego's airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that because of fog?
They shut the airport down pretty early down there. The football team went down there once. Couldn't get out after a football game against San Diego State. I'm talking about Nevada's football team.
So what'd they do?
So we tried to go to the military base. They wouldn't let us fly out of there. We ended up busing up to L.A. and flew out of LAX like at 3 o'clock in the morning or something.
I remember having it when I was announcing radio in college for UNR, flying out of San Luis Obispo. That's no good.
Here's a handoff to Magruder. They're going to try to take time off the clock, but Magruder is going to rip off about 14 yards and pick up a first down.
Okay, next time Manogue snaps his football, it will be right around 2:15, 2:20.
Give him 15 on that carry. Another Bradley, Drendel, and Janae first down for the Bishop Manogue Miners. Tell you, Chris, if they march this down and score, their intent is just to take time off the clock. So I'm not sure they're looking for a touchdown, but if they were to get this to the end zone, they'd go over 600 yards in offense.
Well, and Reed has 2 timeouts left, but when to use them is the key. If Manogue even gives them a chance. They're going to be tackling the football here. Manogue's got to hold on to that ball.
3 receivers wide left. Man hands off to Magruder, and he is wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. That's a bulldog move right there.
Now is Reed going to use the timeout? Doesn't look like it.
Yes, they
did.
will.
Okay. Now, the odds are still against the Raiders, but they sure gave themselves a chance with that option pass, didn't they? So Rios is throwing a pass, throwing a touchdown. He's
rushed for 3.
Rushed for 3 and has a touchdown pass.
Yes.
Wow. Well, and God, I hope they can develop another running back. It's fun. It's much fun to watch.
They seem to every year, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They seem to every year.
Somebody's down on the field.
Injury for the Reed Raiders. Both Rivero and Rios are seniors. Oscar Cesares, who they list as their third running back, Chris, he's just a junior. So I don't know what they have in the pipeline, but they always seem to have a great running back over here, so I'm with you. I hope that they develop another one for next year after, as I said earlier, a run of about 6 years where they've had either Spencer Firebaugh or Bronwyn Rios in the backfield. That's
so. And for Manogue, Brandon Mann, after that hit, and he hasn't run the ball since. Remember, he took that big hit down in the late third quarter. He's limping a little bit, so that creates challenges for Manogue if he can't play next week.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Rios and his numbers, because he has 132 yards. I'm sorry, he's at 179 yards tonight.
Rios has 179 tonight. Wow.
Yep, and he's up to 881 on the year. And for his career, he's got 187. He's approaching 4,000 yards in his career here.
How close now?
Well, now you're going to make me do
here
some
we
math.
go, Donnie.
Okay. Hold on just a second. I'll see if I can do some quick math here.
Okay. You have a calculator on your phone.
3798. So he's 202 yards short of
I hope
4,000 in his career. Rios has got 200 all-purpose yards tonight and
87 yards passing.
87 yards passing. How great is that? I believe that's his first touchdown pass in his career.
I don't know. I know I've seen him throw.
I've seen him throw.
We've seen him throw passes.
Chris, we're going to step aside here, and for Master Control, we'll let you take the next break scheduled to, which I believe is the post-game break, as they brought a cart out. Now the cart is leaving the field. But let's step aside, take a break, and while they attend to the injured Reed Raider on the field, we'll step aside with Bishop Manogue leading it by 4, 52-48. You're watching Friday Night Rivals right here on Nevada Sportsnet. So the two teams come back onto the field as we are set to resume play. As Chris said, 2nd and 9, Bishop Manogue from the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line. They'll wind the clock.
So Manogue can let this go down a bit. They said start the clock. It hasn't started yet. There it goes.
Here's a handoff to Magruder. He'll be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. I think everybody was looking for the clock to start.
Well, now I got a question. I think Manogue just made a mistake. When they said you got to start the clock, Manogue could have waited 38 seconds to snap the football.
That's a good point.
And they did not. So Reed uses their final timeout, and Manogue faces a 3rd and 8. So, yeah, this game is unfortunately an unfortunate turn of events, but it's taken a long time to find a finish, hasn't it?
Sure has. Reed will take the timeout. And needless to say, they got to get a stop here and try to get the ball back, trailing by 4. Should be just over 2 minutes left. I'll put you in the coach's seat here, Chris. 3rd and 8. Do you put it up?
No. You run. Reed's out of timeouts now. So you're going to run the football, and you're going to let the 40 seconds come off the clock before you punt it.
So they will get
and then
the ball.
You hope Bron Rios doesn't have another miracle in his pocket.
So they'll get it. If they stop them here, they'll get it with probably about 1:20 left and no timeouts, trailing by 4. Big ifs. Here's Amir Magruder. Steps inside a tackler, runs over a defender, and I believe he's got the first down. If he does, that's going to do it.
And now Manogue can go into the victory formation.
Holy cow, was that a run by Magruder?
Now they stop the clock at 1:53. Manogue does not have to snap it until about 1:14 on the clock, I think.
If you did your math correctly, they start the clock. And
Well, remember, I got a mercy pass at Manogue in math, so we're
you did. Was there such a thing?
Oh, I did a lot of praying, a lot of rosary beads to get me out of math.
So,
And Manogue is in the victory formation now.
Brandon Mann is trying to figure out when he needs to take the snap. You said about 1:14. All he's got to do is watch the back judge. As soon as he throws his hand up, now he's got to get it snapped.
Snap it.
Snap it. There you go. And then he takes the knee, and another 40 will run off. And this one will go in the books in favor of the Bishop Manogue Miners. They're going to improve to 3-0 in league play. They'll go to 5-3 overall. Reed will drop to 1-2, which actually drops them into a tie with Douglas for fourth place in the standings, or third place in the standings, excuse me.
Wow. That's the best 1-2 team I've seen all year.
Absolutely, yeah. Put up 48, and unfortunately you have to drop to 1-2.
So this will be it. And, boy, I'll tell you, I mean, these two teams, if Manogue can't handle Spanish Springs next week, and it's a big task for Manogue.
Sure.
If they can't, these two teams are playing again at Manogue in a few weeks.
Yep, that's going to do it, folks. We're going to take our final timeout of our broadcast. We'll come back with a very brief post-game show as Bishop Manogue's going to walk away with a 4-point win here, 52-48. That's been the play-by-play portion of tonight's broadcast. Stick around. We'll have your post-game show after this. You're watching Friday Night Rivals on Nevada Sportsnet. Back at Reed High School in our Savage & Son post-game show, as shortened as it will be tonight. Savage & Son is Nevada's oldest and strongest full-service plumbing, HVAC, and piping contractor. Savage & Son serving the community since 1893. Chris, a lot of offense in tonight's game. That's an understatement. 577 for Reed, 570 for Bishop Manogue, over 1,100 yards of offense in this game.
Well, and one of the key points for Reed, they lose 52-48. They had over 100 yards in penalties.
That hurts.
Got to clean things up, but what a game.
Let's take a look at our champion highlights of the game, brought to you by Champion Chevrolet. Champion Chevrolet, a proud supporter of Friday Night Rivals, right here on Nevada Sportsnet. There's a touchdown run for the Bishop Manogue Miners. That was Amir Magruder who got that touchdown run early for the Miners. Here is Dayton with the pump fake and then the lob pass. This was that great catch on the sidelines by Jesse Douglas. Probably a better replay right there. Look at that. Foot is in. Well done, Jesse Douglas. Well done, Wade Gearhart on the replay. And here's a Bronwyn Rios touchdown. He had 3 of them tonight, if my memory serves me right. He did, on the ground, 179 yards. There's the 2-point conversion thrown into the back of the end zone. That made it at the point. Here's that 87-yard pass from Bronwyn Rios to Jaden Purdom. Purdom puts Amir Magruder on the spin cycle, turns it on up the right sideline. He is gone. 87 yards later, he scores the touchdown. Here's the PAT that was blocked. That really kind of, they had 2 of them blocked tonight, Chris, and if you look at it, that kept it a 4-point game, which meant that Reed needed a touchdown to win it, not just a field goal to tie it late in this game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the fourth quarter was full of fireworks, just like every game we seem to have at Reed. Manogue outscores Reed 21-20 in the fourth quarter. They win 52-48.
Well, we can tell you that next Friday night we're going to be at Bishop Manogue. It's going to be the showdown between 2 unbeatens in the 5A ranks, both teams 3-0 in conference play, that being the Spanish Springs Cougars and the Bishop Manogue Miners. We will be on the air at 7 o'clock next Friday night for that showdown. Hopefully you can join us then. I think we're going to be in for a good one at Bishop Manogue High School. For our entire crew tonight, Matt Kalinowski, great job. First directing game of your career with us. Sam Farnsworth, Hunter Rand, our great camera crew, TJ Marchand, our statistician. For Chris Healy and Michael Reeves, I'm Don Marchand saying so long from Reed High School. Final score tonight here, Bishop Manogue walks away with a 52-48 win. We'll talk to you next Friday night from Bishop Manogue High School, 7 o'clock kickoff between the Miners and the Spanish Springs Cougars.
This has been Champion Chevrolet's Friday Night Rivals, presented by America First Credit Union. Brought to you by D&D Sports Productions and Nevada Sportsnet. Be sure to tune in next week for more local high school football action.